Alrighty folks, we are back with more TTO, but indeed more Echo. Joining me of course is Rowan.
Hello.
So yes, we are back playing more Echo. So what is Echo, Rowan?
Echo is a gay, furry visual novel dating simulator, but not really. More of a deconstruction on the gay, furry dating sim. Has a lot of psychological horror elements. Has every triggering subject under the sun at some point. The route we're going to be doing today, definite trigger warning for abusive relationships, gaslighting, and emotional manipulation. It's a lot of that relationship turmoil, yada yada yada. The story so far, on this route anyway, is Chase is a young otter, come home from university. He's meeting up with friends he used to live with or live nearby to in the little shithole town known as Echo. Echo is a haunted meth town, however, so there's not much to do, and it has a history of mass hysteria and other spooky goings-on. I don't know if you want me to go through previous routes at all?
No, just basically where the story is up to this point. Because we're going to be doing Leo's route, which is this character. I'm drawing a small circle around here.
He's the wolf. American red wolf, I think they're called. They're an endangered species, actually, and native to the local area, so there's a reason why he is a red wolf. So we're going to go back to the argument scene and pick our route.
So we've done Flynn's route first, then we did Carl's route, then we did TJ's, and now we are doing Leo's, and then afterwards we'll do Jenna's. So yes, this one does have this one does have two endings, I believe, according to what Ron has told me. So Ron will tell me when I need to save at that question point, and then that will be the point we come back to for the second part. So yes, let us follow Jenna and Leo.
Let's see what Leo's deal is.
I watched Jenna's tail disappear through the sagebrush. They're headed down the same trail that I had used to get to Lake Emma. TJ did seem to head off in that direction while we were fighting, though I can't imagine he'd go to the lake. I should go with him to help find the links. I'm also a little bit worried about Leo. It's been a long time since I've seen him that pissed. When I get there, I find Leo leaning back with his rear up against a big boulder on the shore. Bittersweet memories flood in, that rock almost as much a staple of my childhood as the actual lake is.
Yeah, for people who haven't seen previous episodes, Chase actually did go out with Leo in the past. They are a former couple. However, there was in the relationship a little bit. In particular, the town. Chase hates Echo. Leo won't leave because his family are there. And this led to a lot of problems between them. We already had the talk with them outside the motel, which you remember they all got called a homophobic slur. So yeah.
It's weird like that. Every memory I have of this place is dreamy and gold-tinged, but always has a hint of sadness about it no matter what the situation was. Jenna's standing in front of Leo, her arms folded as she talks to him. I can't see his face, but his posture is sagging and his ears are down, looking way older than he actually is. I stand back for a while, feeling awkward about intervening at this point. Leo occasionally shakes his head and takes out his phone and looks at it. I can see Jenna getting annoyed, then she says something and Leo turns his head to look back at me. I seize up for a second, but Jenna's beckoning me with her paw and Leo isn't looking. I start stumbling over the rocks towards them and Leo looks back down at his phone and Jenna starts walking towards me.
Just talk to him, he'll listen to you.
Is
where the secondary path.
Right, I will, when I remember, yes I will save. Let's save number 10 as the split point for that, so we remember.
Yeah.
Okay. We will go to Leo, because we're doing Leo's route first. She passes by me, going back towards the trail. Sure, he'll probably listen to me, but I have no idea what I should say. The rocks are actually hard to navigate, especially when you don't have any protection on your feet, or for your feet. I'm almost to the boulder when my foot catches on the edge of a rock and I yelp and fall forwards, knees first onto a sharp rock.
Yeah, they've got paws. They can't wear shoes.
Pain shoots up my leg and my eyes clench shut as I cringe silently. Shit, you alright? I look up to see Leo looking down at me, his ears up now at the sound of my fall. Yeah, fine. Leo frowns and reaches over the paw, which I grab onto and pull myself up with. I make my way around him, being a little more careful as to where I put my feet as I position myself next to him against the boulder. I put both my paws behind myself and heave myself up to the top of the boulder, letting my legs dangle over the side. Ugh, I'm so damn clumsy. You're an otter. Wow, asshole. I say it jokingly, but Leo's not really smiling. Instead, he sticks a paw back in his pocket and pulls out a slightly flat-looking cigarette. I give a startled stare. Shouldn't be surprised. I could smell it on him when I first got here. It's just that I'm not used to seeing him do it. He started right after I left. He pulls out a lighter, lights it takes to drag them, blows the smoke off the side of his muzzle away from me. You're meant to swim, not walk on rocks. I mean, technically Carl's built for that, and he's still falling down all the time. I think it's because Flynn's always tripping him up with his tail. Speaking of Carl, grunting, I lean over sideways and look at the side of the boulder. I find what I'm looking for instantly, a series of chips and scratches outlining the rough figure of a canine in a long cape with an S on his chest. Huh, it's still here. Carl's drawing? Shit, I forgot about that. Never finished it though, did he? Nah, but it was pretty good. Remember how Super Wolf was the only thing he talked about that summer? Yeah, the movie wasn't even that good. He loved it though. Yeah, and I guess that's all that really mattered. Leo grimaced and reaches over to my knees. I wince and look down as he pulls out a thumb and index a bit around a cut that I had noticed till now. Blood is oozing out of the fur and leaking down my shin. We need to get that cleaned out. No, we need to clean that out. I shrug. It's not a big deal. No, we'll stop at the convenience store and get some peroxide. There's some nasty shit around this lake. It's fine, seriously. Just to be safe. I smirk. Safe? Like this? I reach up and grab the cigarette dangling from his lips. He's quick though and whips his head away before taking it out of his muzzle. Hey! Don't hey me, what the fuck are you smoking? So why the fuck are you smoking? His ears fall flat again and he glares. Why the fuck do you care? He spits it out with so much venom that I lean away from him, eyes wide. He's never talked to me like that before, and I was joking too. What? Leo quickly looks away and doesn't say anything. I stare at his face for a while, watching his eyes flicker around as he just shakes his head. Are you still mad at me? We talked. Of course I'm still mad, Chase. Talking doesn't fix it. Doesn't fix 3 years. All the progress I thought we'd made on Saturday was an illusion. Leo's just upset, and he's always, as he's ever been, about what happened. I just don't know what you want me to say. What do you want me to say, Leo? That I was wrong to leave? That I should have stayed here? Not leaving me in the dark would have been a good start. Yeah, I fucked that up, but it happened and I can't fix that. What do you want to happen now? Leo stretches his arms at the side of one giant shrug. I don't know. This is already familiar. 1,000 past fights flashed in my mind. Did we ever agree on anything? I slide off the boulder and Leo snaps his muzzle towards me, probably thinking I'm going to leave. Instead, I lean one paw against the rock as I turn to glare at him. It feels better yelling at someone standing up rather than sitting down. Oh, I know exactly what you want. Oh, do you? You just want to drop everything, come back. You just want me to drop everything, come back here, back to Echo. When did I ever ask you to drop anything? I want to know if you're coming back. How am I supposed to know that? Why can't you plan ahead further than next week? I swear it's always like this with you. I let out an exasperated laugh. I'm 21, I don't fucking know anything about anything. Why should I want to know what I want? Well, I'm here. Don't you want to come back and live with me? We'd always planned for it. His voice softens and I pause, thinking about it right now. It is something I would want, it's just...
Hello, entire group of men on motorbikes. And don't crash.
Is Echo so bad that its negatives outweigh my benefits? I mean, I gesture at the town in the distance looking as shitty and rusted as ever, then to the lake looking as shitty and mucky as ever, then to the desert around us looking as shitty as dry as ever. I let the scenery speak for itself. So, yeah. Leo rolls his eyes. Poocha, Otter, I'm starting to think you just want an excuse not to be around me. I'm starting to think that what Flynn said is true. He looks straight at me, eyes narrowing over his muzzle, his nostrils flaring. What? I'm not obsessed with you. I miss everyone, that's all. Is that wrong? I go quiet for a while and turn back to look over the lake, squinting at the bright reflective flashes of light. It can be. But then I don't even know if he's telling the truth. He'd never say whether or not the whole thing he'd planned was just for me. He doesn't say anything and we just sit there for a while. Even for a wolf, this whole sticking together thing is a little intense. He brought us together at the very beginning, sure, but after Sydney it was a whole different level. He barely ever let us leave his sight. That's when I noticed a dark figure across the lake, walking on the other side of the road. It's Flynn, and he's headed back to Echo. I can see that Leo spotted him too, his ears and eyes following him, but he doesn't say anything. Finally, I speak up. So, is what he said about me true? No. He says it quietly, but the answer's instant. Really? Leo takes another drag on the cigarette. Weirdly enough, I actually kind of like the smell of the smoke. I think his problem with you is you don't act like you used to as a kid or a teenager. He's told me before. I mean, you used to be a snarky motherfucker, even more than you are now. My stomach sinks. Yeah? Yeah, you grew up, mellowed out. Again, my insides twist and I don't trust myself to speak right then. Leo gets the wrong idea and smiles, putting his arm around me and pulling me up to his side. What he said about everyone was total bullshit, especially Jenna. This whole family mantra did have its limits. Okay. The fact that Leo was so defensive of Jenna's decision to leave her family shows what a piece of shit they really are. I'm just glad he's changed the subject though. Leaning my head on his shoulder, I let his hold comfort me. He's still watching Flynn. But I can't fucking believe he did this. No, idiot. Leo shouts it as loudly as if I could, I'd lower my ears like a canine. I see the small figure that's Flynn turn around and look back at us. He stays like that for a while, it looks like he's examining us. Finally, he turns back around and keeps going towards Echo. Fucking idiot, how the hell am I supposed to go ahead with what I had planned for the week? In the past, Flynn would have his blow-ups and then get over it, and so would we. But this time really did feel different. It was like we've been chipping away at our group for years, and this is finally what broke it into pieces. Now there's no putting things back together. Maybe it would have been better if we didn't come here. It's sort of my fault. Nope, it's Finn's fault. Stupid to blame yourself. I don't know, I always had problems. Probably would have been better to just leave things as they were. Nope. Jesus, why does everyone act like the whole thing? Echo or friendship is some kind of horrible tragedy. Hasn't exactly been a walk in the park. Life isn't a walk in the park. This is where we come from. We find some good in it instead of bitching about everything. It could be so much worse. My parents told me stories from their hometown, and compared to where I was born, this isn't shit. He huffs out smoke through his nose, not bothering to blow it away from me this time, engulfing a spell of tobacco. I mean, not to be an asshole, but you gringos have it easy. My mum got a phone call almost every month telling me they'd killed my dad just because they had the money. Just because they had money. Oh, because they had money. Leo's always been good at making me feel like a spoiled brat. I'm sorry. His arm tightens around me and I turn my head to rub my nose into his chest. I can smell his musk under the heavy deodorant. It's a familiar smell I like. Don't be. I mean, we all play our cards, right? But try and have a little bit more perception. Perceptive.
Perspective.
That's the word.
You'll get there eventually.
I'll get there eventually. It's perspective. He leans his chin on top of my head. I feel like we should have some boundaries since we're not exactly a couple anymore, but this feels right. I love this town. I love you guys. I just want things to work out, not to lose touch. We had something really special. You're such a wolf. Thank you. I lay a paw on his thigh and rub it slowly, thinking. I mean, is there really no way you could leave with me? It would make things so much easier. Please don't ask that. I can't leave him. I could never do that. You know this. Of course I did. We'd argued about it over 100 times already. I squeezed his thigh. So, he's still mad at me? I listened to Leo breathing deeply with my head rising with his chest. No, Water, I'm not mad. We've got a lot of things to figure out, but we will. Guess that's a good place as any to leave off, so I move off into another subject. So now that Flynn's So now that Flynn's fucked up the trip, what do we do next? He hasn't. We'll fix this. We just gotta get that dumbass to apologise. But once I do, we have a birthday to plan. I raised my brows in surprise. It wasn't anyone's birthday anytime soon. Huh? Whose birthday? Carl's. Carl's birthday wasn't until the end of April, literally a month away. It's early. Really early, I know, but I'm kind of limited in what ideas of what we can do. I guess that makes sense. So when's that gonna be? Wednesday. We need to buy some stuff tomorrow, and I have the day off. Leo looks at his phone again. Speaking of which, I need to drive you guys back so I can get to work. Well, alright. I'm not doing much else tomorrow. I should be working on the project, but I've got plenty of time. Leo slides off his boulder and turns back to me. I'll ask Jenna and TJ too. We'll let Flynn cool off for a day. Do you know where TJ went? Yeah, he just texted me what I'd be left alone, which I understand. I get off the boulder as well, and Leo reaches a paw out to me. And this time, watch where you're walking. Hold on to me. That's probably a good idea. Tuesday. Peyton Mall is tiny compared to the one in Pueblo where I go to school. So they got one floor, maybe 20 stores. Still, it wasn't a bad place to hang out back when I was in high school, mostly because I had a movie theater. So where you guys want to go first?
First, we only need to go to one.
You sure? I mean, we should help him branch out.
He knows what he likes, it's fine.
Well, alright. Lasers it is. It's one of those kind of stores where it looks like a radioactive clown jizzed on everything. Well, there's a little weird porn here. Think Carl would like that? I'm not really sure what Carl's into when it comes to that. I think he likes the paws, honestly. Why don't I just box up my foot and put a bow on that then?
Porn, really? Let's just stick to comic books.
We both look at him. Everything alright, Tej? Tej's been a bit of a mood ever since he woke up this morning. He didn't talk the whole drive here, instead just browsing through stuff on his phone.
He's just salty that he isn't roasting on the trail right now. No, this is fine. I'm fine, guys.
TJ smiles to show us how fine he is. Yeah,
sure. Well, Leo's driving us up halfway after this, so you're still going to get yourself barbecue. You don't have to go if you don't want to. I don't know if it would be very fun if you were upset the whole time.
At this point, Leo turns to me smiling. You going with him? In this fur? On these legs? I left a foot for him. No, it's over 90 degrees today. Yeah, best leave it to the land mammals, though. Leo claps his paws together loudly. Let's split up and pick something out. I think it'll be fine if we keep it under 20 bucks. As everyone wanders off, I look around. I'm not sure what I should get him. He doesn't excite me much unless one of his comic books is being turned into a movie. I assume this is not a point I need to care about?
What do you think Carl would like?
Is it Carl they've mentioned action figures before, or am I misremembering?
He definitely did. He's one of those nerdy guy types, you know?
I'll go with action figures then. I move further towards the back of the store to the action figures, which is where TJ is. He's turning over every toy gun in his paws, ears down. I walk up next and pretend to look over the wall. Find anything interesting? TJ shrugs, pulling the trigger on a gun a few times. It's definitely a weird looking gun. It's pink and the muzzle is perfectly round, the end tapered. That's when I realise it's a penis water gun.
I'm alright, just a little tired.
Looks over at me, his brows raised. You feeling better after yesterday though?
Yeah, a bit. I just wish it hadn't happened.
Of course.
So you're not going with me and Jenna on the hike then?
I guess not. Leo said he might need some help setting up for the party at his house.
I mean, you sort of promised me, but I guess that's alright.
I cringe on the inside.
You haven't seen him in a while, so it's good that you guys have time to catch up.
TJ lifts the penis gun and points it at his face, squirting an eye and looking down the barrel. Squinting an eye, looking down the barrel. How the fuck can he not tell? You must know what a dick looks like.
Wonder what this is from. Do you think Carl would recognize it?
He starts pulling the trigger several times, blowing his fur back to his face for opening his muzzle as well. I reach out and push it down. I think that's just a novelty item. You should get something else.
Oh, okay.
I can tell TJ is unhappy, but there's not much else I can do about it.
I'll look away for a minute and go to sexual.
I wander off towards the opposite wall where all the posters are. Leo's standing there
He
looking...
might actually be asexual after doing his route. Like it might even... yeah.
Definitely possible. Leo's standing there looking over the display board. I stand next to him. You know, I think every inch of this wall is covered. I don't know if there's any more room. If his wall was covered, I don't think there's any more room. Has he put anything on the ceiling? I don't think so. Then there's room. Well, alright, guess I'll get him Lucha. I don't think he's got one of them. Look over at the masked wolf, his arms crossed, bare chest and abs stuck out in full display. I waggle my brows. Sure, that's why you want him. Leo grins down at me. Oh yeah? Sorry, he's not my type. I like my guys a little more supple. His tail slaps my ass. Well, I like him. I love his muscles. Leo squares his shoulders and flexes his biceps bulge nearly to the size of my head. Grrr, like these? Feign indifference, shrugging. Nah, I'm more into the cut look, like Lucha. Leo frowns, but I take that moment to slap him in the butt with my tail. Because it's not as flexible as his, I have to turn my body into it and practically thuds into his ass. Leo yelps and stumbles forward into the posters with a loud clatter.
Whoa, calm down, boys.
Jenna walks up behind us and stands next to me, her arms folded over a manga with a doe in the schoolgirl uniform on the front. That looks sexy, Jenna. Good pick. Jenna rolls her eyes as Leo reaches into the poster bin with Lucha on it. I'm pretty sure he doesn't have this one. TJ follows up behind Jenna, a small figurine of Trinity Weasel in his paws. I laugh. Of course you'd get that, TJ.
Hey, it was a good price, and look. He's kidding, Tej. Anyway, maybe it'll help him take another look at that movie. It is really good.
I realize I'm the only one that hasn't picked out a gift, and I look around anxiously. Right in front of me is a rack of beanie caps. One of them has a bloodied and decaying zombie face printed on it, its teeth bared in the brim. I assume it's to make the wearer look like their head is clumped inside. I think Carl likes zombies. I snatch it off the rock and hurry up to the front with the others. How does it look? I asked TJ as I walking through the parking lot.
It looks good, I guess.
No, I mean, does it look like a zombie badger is eating my head?
Oh, yeah, it looks great.
Gives me a thumbs up. Ah! Pull it down over my face slowly. How do you think we'd all do in a zombie attack? I lift the hat back up over my forehead. Like who would die first? My eyes fall involuntarily on TJ.
Me? Why do you think that?
Well, maybe not. You are pretty fast. Just kind of imagine you curling up in a ball. But honestly, I'd probably be the first to go. I stick out a leg. Look at how stubby these are. And I'm the fastest. I'd carry you. You wouldn't have to worry.
Oh, really?
I look over at Jenna and see she's got that gleam in her eye that always puts me on edge.
Pretty sure I'm faster than you, Leo.
Leo smirks. Pretty sure my legs are way longer and way faster than yours, Jenna. Jenna sticks out her bag with a manga in it at me. I take it slowly, trying to catch her eye so I can shake my head frantically at her. Leo sticks his bag out at TJ, almost punching him in the nose. TJ jumps and gingerly takes it from him, frowning.
This is the parking lot, guys. Are you sure it's a good idea?
Jenna and Leo are taking up the position side by side, leaning forward.
Alright, to that lamppost.
You're on. Count us off, Chase.
How is this proving anything? Don't you need to be carrying Chase?
Alright, ready, set, go. Leo actually gets a bit of a head start since he anticipated the go, but Jenna catches up right away. In fact, she's 10 feet ahead of him just 5 seconds into the race. I can hear her laughing as she gracefully speeds ahead, her tail whipping around like a flag as she zips off towards the horizon. Leo, realizing he's going to lose, is frantically flailing his arms around, his eyes and head down as he charges forward. I'm actually surprised by how bad he's losing. I mean, he used to play football back in high school, so he's had some training. With his head down, I guess he doesn't see the curb right in front of him. His foot clips as he passes. I hear the yelp and then see him careen off to the side, then roll in the asphalt for slamming up against the tire of a parked car. TJ gasps and covers his eyes.
Oh my gosh.
I'm already running up to where Leo's fallen. He's sitting up again, up against the tire, one paw in his head, and he grits his teeth in pain. Are you alright? Jesus, you hit that hard. I kneel down next to him, and the second he sees me, he grins and quickly scrambles up, brushing his paws. I'm fine. I'm fine. I just tripped a bit. I can see his spots in his paw pads are skinned and bleeding, so I wince. Jesus Christ, Leo, that wasn't just a bit. Jenna, having noticed their competition had eaten shit, jogs back towards her paws on her hips and she breathes heavily.
Wow, you okay, Leo?
I'm fine. Want to try that again? This stupid curb got in the way. Nope, you're banged up enough as it is. You're fucking bleeding everywhere. I should probably drive. I'm fine, Chase. Leo rolls his eyes to show me how much he doesn't care, but I can see that his insides of his ears are bright red. There's a bit of an awkward silence, only punctuated by Leo and Jenna's breathing. Finally, Jenna walks up next to me and puts her paw around my shoulder.
Well, now you know who's more likely to survive in a zombie apocalypse. Chase, remember it.
She leans up her head against my shoulder and I cringe to see Leon's smile turn icy. Alright, cool, let's get going. I wiggle out from under her arm. You guys need to get to your hike. The drive back is only a little awkward. To her credit, Jenna does try to apologise to Leo, but he waves it off like it isn't a big deal. I could tell by how he's overdoing the cheerfulness that it's not the case. We drop TJ and Jenna off halfway up the trail, which happens to be right next to the highway. Once we're alone in the car, Leo starts messing around with the CD player. You might remember this. As the music fills the car, I'm immediately transported back to my high school days. Jesus, is this the carpet stains? Yeah. Leo's grinning at me, occasionally glancing towards the road. This is the band we listened to together in my junior and senior year. You still into this stuff?
Brutal.
Mmm.
Oh, do you like it, the music?
No.
No.
I assume this isn't a trigger point.
No.
Do we
It's quite close to the end.
I think it's fucking terrible. Sure, it's got the nostalgia factor, but it really is embarrassing to listen to now. I used to think it was so deep, so emotional. Now the guy's whiny voice just annoys me. Nah, it's pretty terrible. I know, right? Can't believe we listened to it so much. Still, it takes me back. Listen to the lyrics, mouthing them under my breath. After haunt everything in my life, I see you in clouds, sky so blue. I see your outline on the screen door too. Finally, we pull up to Leo's old ranch-style house. It looks the same as it always has. Through landscaping, it's definitely taken a turn for the worse. Leo parks and both get out. I'm busy staring at the driveway, thinking about all the times I've walked across it when a gravelly voice pulls me from my reverie.
Hey, who are you?
I jump and look to my right, spotting a thin and angry-looking raccoon. He's standing next to some bushes, trimming them up. His yard is desert landscaped and looks pretty good next to Leo's property, which is nothing but weeds and sagebrush. Behind the raccoon is an old and rusty-looking trailer home. Thinking back, I'm pretty sure the really old mouse used to live there, but this guy's a raccoon and looks pretty young too. I hear Leo walking quickly around the front of his truck to stand next to me. Hey kid, this is Chase. Remember I was telling you about him? Leo puts his arm around me. Cud's demeanor changes immediately when he sees Leo.
Oh, hey Leo. This is him then.
Cud? My voice is incredulous enough to be offensive, and the raccoon notices. He's already scowling face gets even more scrunched up.
I'm not exactly from around here.
Oh really?
No.
We stand there for a few seconds, then Leo grabs my arm. Alright, glad you two could meet. We actually in a bit of a hurry. You got a party to plan for? The raccoon watches us all the way to the door before Leo finally closes it behind him. Really, Chase? What? It's a weird name. I sniff, but instead of the scented candles I smell... instead of the scented candle smell I thought I'd get, immediately met with the acrid smell of cigarette smoke. It doesn't look the same either. It's a bit empty compared to how when it was last year. It makes sense, I guess, with Leo's parents and siblings gone. I tell him what a great guy you were for the past 2 years, and this is his first impression of you. Well, I'm sorry. What happened to the old mouse guy? Charlie? He died a few months ago after you left. Cut moved in years ago. Oh, well, he seems a bit grumpy. He is, but he's a good guy. He's been through a lot. Leo sets the bags down on the kitchen table, pulling out the cake and gifts. So why do you move here? Said he likes the isolation. He works in Peyton. Some things happen in the city and he wants to get away. Leo ruffles through the plastic cups and gifts. I forget which country he's originally from. His full name is Kudzo. How old's DJ again?
Kudzu.
Kudzu.
It's a type of plant found in a lot of the US. Actually, look them up. The kudzu forests are fucking weird. They're super invasive, really fast growing. They literally cover forests.
Ah, okay.
Cutting down kudzu plants is like a full-time job in some parts of the South.
Okay.
I can't remember where the plants originally came from, but I have a feeling it's like Japan or somewhere like that. But yeah, there you go. Let me get a picture up and I'll send it to you.
I've just got the one from Wikipedia.
Yeah.
The one from Wikipedia says it looks like that.
Where have you put this?
On stream. Oh, I forgot you're not looking at stream, are you? Got the thing up?
I'm not. I can't get the stream up while doing this. It'll screw my computer up.
Hang on, I'll just copy image. Turn display capture off. And message you there.
Yeah, just completely covering everything. It's
Japanese
cool,
arrowroot, perennial vines.
Yeah, I think it was brought over because its flowers are pretty or something, and it was used in gardens, and of course it escaped and became wild, and it's now like an absolute bane to most Americans' existence, from what I can tell. Just covers everything.
Yep. Yeah, it's a very much an invasive species.
Yeah. Quite pretty small flowers on it though. You can see why it was grown. Like the blossoms are beautiful. Either way.
Yeah. Where were we? I think he's 20, but he doesn't drink anyway, if that's what you're wondering. I don't know, people change a lot in a few years. Anyway, let's go to my room. Go message Carl. Leo's room is small but cozy. A little clustered but clean enough. I walk over and sit on his bed looking around all the posters. Most of them related to football or hip-hop moguls. He's had most of these since high school. Kept the same room, huh? Your parents' room is bigger, isn't it? Yeah, well, I'm used to it being here. It's kinda weird hanging out in my parents' room anyway. Besides. He flops down next to me, bouncing up and down on the bed. I don't really need the space. So what do you do around here? It feels kinda empty. I really only here to sleep, otherwise I'm on the computer, you know, porn. He looks at me and grins. I look over at his computer. It's got a nice chair and I can guess what the box of tissues next to the monitor is for. But that's not what holds my attention. Instead I see 3 holes punched right through the drywall. Around those are several more, less successful dents in the wall. Some knuckle-shaped features. Holy shit. Leo's ears fall.
Opinions on that, Popsky? Oh, I can't see all these red flags through my rose-tinted glasses. Says Chase.
Leo's ears fall flat and he lets out an embarrassed laugh. Hey, maybe that's my fault. I really get into my games. I stand up and walk towards the wall, examining the damage. Leo stands up too, clearly uncomfortable. That was a few years ago, though. I don't play that game no more. Damn, Leo, you're fucking crazy. I poke a finger through the holes, realizing that punching through the wall was one try. Wasn't anything to sneeze at. And strong. You gotta have a temper of yours. Sorry, you still got that temper of yours. I don't. It was just that one game. He's got a pause in his hips, glaring down at me. I mean, what if I was standing here? What would that have done to my face? Put my face in front of one of the holes for effect. Leo blanches like I'd slapped him. Hey, don't talk like that. I would never... I know. Sorry, it's just funny how angry you get sometimes. I mean, your phone looked pretty new. When's the last time you broke one? Well, okay. The damn thing wasn't loading right, and... He frowns. Why am I being interrogated right now? Hey, you want me to live here. I think I have the right to be concerned with my personal property. I only broke your phone once. I spread my paws out. More than I've broken anyone else's phone. Yeah, well, I've never pretended that I cheated on someone as a joke. My attitude cools a little. Yeah, well, high school,
Jesus
you know?
fucking Christ, all of these fucking red flags. I need to run away from this man.
I know. Anyway, it's nice to have you here again. He reaches out and pulls me into a one-armed hug. When I pull back, though, I notice a cut on the side of his arm, a few more on the back of his paw as well. At this point, the fur is clumped together with coagulated blood. Man, you really wiped out. He looks at his arm. Oh, yeah, I should really clean up. Here, get on the comp and while I'm gone, see if Carl's online. Leo talks to me as he's walking out the door into the hallway. I should be logged on. Ask him what he's doing tomorrow. We need to plan this out right. Okay. I sit down in the chair and wake the computer up. Sure enough, Leo's already logged on to his account. I look at his friends list, seeing Carl as idle. I send him the message anyway, then lean back in the chair, almost freaking out that it leans back way further than I thought it would. Must be all those jerk-off sessions Leo's had. I drum my paws against the desk for a bit, then look back towards the door. Leo's probably gonna be gone for a while, and I'm curious. I grin as I first check out his bookmarks. Social media alerts the first few slots, then there's one called Mech Forums and another called Mechanics United. Then of course there's a few sports and football specific ones. Finally I get to one called Gay Viddies and another one called Otter Sluts. I snort loudly at that one. I click on the history tab next.
I'm sorry, can we talk about otter sluts for a moment?
What the fuck, Leo?
I'm sure it's
Jesus
a valid
fucking
website.
Christ.
I'm sure there's great articles.
Oh, otter sluts.
Otter Sluts. With a Z, so you know it's serious.
Something about that word just makes me giggle. I can't eat. Leo, get over it.
Welcome back to Otter
Dude
Sluts.
moved out 3 years ago.
I mean, everyone's got a type, I suppose.
I don't think he is into a type. I think he's just into one guy.
Well, I
Because he
mean,
was like that with Sydney.
I thought Sydney was a bear.
Oh.
Was Sydney? What was Sydney? Sydney an otter as well?
Sydney was also an otter, yeah.
Ah.
But for some reason, when you scale up an otter and try and draw it in a cartoony style, they always look like bears. Which makes sense because they are related.
Ah.
Like mustelids and the ursines are closer together than I think they are to the dogs and the cats.
But that is off the top of my head from many years ago, paleontology. So don't quote me.
Yeah.
But I think they're semi-closely related.
The more you know.
Though to be fair, a lot of it is just convergent evolution as well. Like, turns out when you're in a cold climate, having small ears is good for keeping the heat in. Including if you're in the water. Anyway, sorry, biology tangent. Let's get back to otter sluts.
Otter Sluts.
Otter sluts.
Previously on
Fucking
Otter...
otter sluts. Otter sluts, in it, mate?
Previously on Otter Sluts. Works so fucking well.
Oh my god. Leo.
I click on the history tab next. I mean, how long has he been to Orsluts? Let's see. I scroll through it for a while. The first 50 or so is related to some DJ or hip-hop artist. Finally see the word cock, and I know that I'm looking for one of Leon's porn sessions. It's pretty standard stuff, ass, balls, making out, blowjobs. But that's when I start seeing a pattern. Gay otters, otter asses male, male otters tail up, gay blowjob otters.
Oh my
I raise my
god.
brows and click the search bar for history, typing otter before hitting enter. The results spill down the window, a scroll bar small enough to make me have trouble clicking on it to pull it down. Was Leo only into me because he had an
to an
otter
ex's
fetish?
house and finding like every single porn history is someone who looks vaguely like you. Like, it's just deeply upsetting.
Yeah. I remember this because there was a guy at my uni who had a thing for one of my friends, and when he couldn't get her, he dated a girl who looked identical to her and got her to dye her hair the same colour.
Yeah.
That wasn't fucking creepy at all.
That's I hate that on a visceral fucking level. That guy is gonna get like a fucking what's the word? Restraining order, probably. Yeah. Kind of reminds me of some guy I lived in uni with as well, who was let's just say similarly weird. For some reason about me, I never understood that. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, otter fetishes. Let's carry on.
Let's go back to Leo and his psychological downfall.
Story again later.
I will. I start to feel a little depressed as I scroll through the results, and that's when I notice another pattern. At least half the results have wolf in the search phrase. And not just that. Wolf, otter, gay blowjob, otter, wolf, gay couple kiss, otter, wolf, gay cuddling. The nape of my neck just prickles as I scroll down hundreds of results, and that's when the door opened in the hallway. I jump, first covering the screen with my paws like an idiot, then quickly closing out the windows. Except it doesn't work. The sheer amount of results gave him Leo's shame must have fucked up the CPU.
Leo, you motherfucking son of a bitch!
Desperately, I bang the mouse on the desk as I hear Leo's heavy footsteps in the hallway. I swear there's a cut on my back, but I can't reach it. Fuck. I mutter under the breath, heart pounding in my chest. It's just like 7 years ago, my mom caught me looking at gay porn. Leo walks in, the computer screen still hopelessly frozen. Can you help me get... Leo starts mid-sentence as I look back at him, the guilt on my face pretty damn obvious. What did you do? You know what? I try to stall and turn back to the screen, clicking furiously on the crosses. Hey. And he's just walking up behind me, the window disappears. Wait a second, what were you looking at? I swivel around in the chair, grinning. Nothing. My voice squeaks. Leo stares down at me, an exasperated smirk spreading across his muzzle. No, not nothing. What the hell were you looking at? Is there something I don't know about? Well,
Leo,
it keeps on
you might want to sit down for this.
It keeps staring at me, but I get up and pretend to stretch, moving towards the bed. Well, yeah, there's something you don't know about, but now I know about some things. Huh? I swish my tail behind me a few times, teasing him, but mostly I'm just relieved I didn't get caught. I hear him move, but before I can react, he's on me. He grabs my arms and shoves them behind my back, shoves me forward, falling on top of me in my bed.
Right back.
Excuse me, you two.
That's fine.
You silly.
I grunt loudly as his weight pushes the air out of my lungs. Looks like I'm gonna have to get it out of you the old-fashioned way, Otter. I struggle a little, but there's no way in hell I'm getting out from under Leo if he wants me to stay there. Hey, get off. He clutches both sides of my wrist in one paw while he digs the other into my side. I gasp and writhe desperately, bouncing up and down in the bed while he pinches at my ribs. No, please, I don't know anything. Sure. Now what were you looking at? He leans in harder on me and I feel his hot breath on my ear, nuzzling it only makes me laugh and squirm harder. I don't... Well, I'm sure Leo was curious about what I was doing on his computer. I'm definitely sure there's another reason why he's doing this. I can feel it against my ass as he rolls on top of me. Before I can really think about that, he lets go of my paws and the tickling stops. I only have a second to retrieve before both his paws dig into my armpits. Practically squealing, I writhe around, managing to get on my back now while he's laying on top of me. He doesn't help much as he just goes right back to the armpits. I can't take it anymore. Alright, it's... I was searching your contacts to see if you were hooking up with anyone. Tickling stops and I'm left gasping for air while Leo just looks down at me grinning. Oh, little jealous, huh? Maybe a little. Huh. Leo looks genuinely happy about that, his paws spread out to the side of my head as he grins down at me. I take my chance and shoot my paws up to his sides, digging in. He yelps and curls up a bit and falls on top of me again. I don't relent though, I keep wiggling my fingers around his body. Obviously he's letting me win, but it's still fun seeing him melt into a twitching pile of giggles. He rolls to the side of me and I get on top of him, pretending to wrestle him like we've done 100 times before. He playfully fights back, but he's grinning up at me with a dopey tongue out of his muzzle expression. On a whim, I plant a kiss in his crotch. I'm not sure why, probably to let him know that I knew her, maybe that's just a way to get back at him for getting off on this. He yelps again, this time more loudly, and folds off, pushing me onto the off the side of him. Fuck. Both lay there side by side, panting and sweating a little, my head resting on his arm. I think I won that. No way, I got you to squeal. And you cheated when you crushed my dick. Leo reaches over me and turns a small, complicated-looking fan on the bedside table before flopping his other arm over his eyes. As I stare at the fan, I notice something else next to it and gasp loudly. What? Is that a fucking gun? Oh yeah. Is it real? Oh yeah, of course so. I turn my head.
We are in America.
I turn my head to stare at him. What? Why? You just leave it out here in the open? I'd never thought of Leo as a gun person, for what he told me he hated guns. Well, me dad's got a bunch, and when he left, he gave me one for protection. Wow, do you really need it? A few people in this town, well, you know. I think I know the people he's talking about. Have you had to use it or something? I mean, if it's just sitting out. Leo shifts, bouncing the bed. Let's just say some people need convincing when they're trying to cause trouble. I'm about to ask more, but Leo holds up his other paw. Not now, I'm tired. I'll tell you about it later. I go quiet, but it's hard not to stare at the gun. The concept of owning one is just so foreign to me. So what's with the fan? I change the subject. Leo looks confused, then over at the fan. Oh, it's a humidifier fan combo. I get nosebleeds a lot. I close my eyes and lay there against Leo. This is probably a bad idea, I know, but it feels good and I'm tired, even after the discovery I made this computer. I guess I'm trying not to think about that right now. The fan drones softly. Leo's arm moves into my neck and I feel his paw come up and start brushing the tuft of fur on my head with his thumb and index. I wish you would style this again. When I had it spiked, that was stupid. I liked it. I feel myself dozing off as his fingers start brushing my forehead. I feel the coolness of his anchor bracelet through my fur. Sometimes I think I'm going crazy. I'm barely awake at this point, the fan blowing in my face, Leo stroking, feeling his warm body next to me. I saw you here last week, outside my window. That registers a little weird, so I come back out of my doze a little. Oh? Yeah, I just looked out and saw an otter. Just standing there. Huh, think it was another otter? Well... Leo yawns and turns his head towards me, snuffling at my ear. There's only one other guy. Remember Dale? He's fat though. Could have just been someone that was lost, right? Maybe. I went out and didn't see anyone. Well, sometimes people see things. His arm tightens around my head as he gives it a sort of tug. I hope I'm not seeing things now, though. I roll my eyes, but his words remind me of something. Just like a bad dream, I'll be gone when you wake. But I swear, even if it was fake, I'll never forget your face. I sing a few lyrics from one of our old emo songs, but that's when I hear Leo snore. So I give him a pleasant, my pleasant drowse and sink slowly into sleep. I feel a presence in the room, and it's angry.
Chase.
I jolt awake but can't open my eyes.
Chase.
Finally my eyes twitch open, I can't move, I can only wiggle the tips of my fingers. Just try to oh, it's you, sorry.
Just try to hide. Dare ya.
I flinch, the voice is right in my ear. I'm still in Leo's room, still in his bed. I can vaguely make out his body out of the corner of my eye. The room, though, it's tinged red. I hear clicking and see his monitor switch on. I see myself bent over, tail raised, naked, looking back at the camera, my face warped. Dark holes bloom over the eyes, then over the image like it's burning. A tarantula crawls over the foot of the bed and starts making its way towards me. I gasp through my nose as I can't open my mouth, my heart beating so fast like it's shaking the bed. My fingers wiggle as I try and yank myself awake, the massive spider only moving closer as it crawls over my foot and onto my leg. The way of the spider is real. The way it's disheveling my shirt and crawls into my stomach is real. This is real. No, it's not real. I've had this happen before. It started happening when I took the night shift at the grocery store next to campus. Very common, very normal. People have it happen all the time. I'll just close my eyes and wait it out. I do that, squeezing them shut as tight as I can, trying to find some comfort in Leo's presence next to me, his arm still under my head. I feel the spider on my chest, its weight so much more than it should be. It stops there, doesn't approach my face. But then I feel something else, another presence. It's coming from the right side wall where the window is. Something's looking out at me. I know it. Oh, sorry, looking through at me. I know it. I'm not opening my eyes though. I know if I do, I'll see something that will freak me the fuck out, and the spider's bad enough. I hear tapping. Whatever it is tapping at the glass, wanting my attention. It knows. It knows I know it's there. And it wants me to see it. What the fuck? This is lasting way longer than it should. What if I'm stuck? Am I stuck? I'm gonna be stuck for a twisted Leo spider room dimension for the rest of my fucking life? That's it.
He's mine.
My eyes fly open. Already pointed towards the window, bracing myself. But it's empty. The sky's tinged red from the sunset, and so is the room. My dreaming brain exaggerated it to look like the colour of blood. The spider's gone, and the angry presence is too. I sit up slowly and rub my face, feeling exhausted, even though I just slept. With the humidifier blowing right at my face, I can feel tiny droplets of water collected on my waterproof fur. It'll be impossible to fall asleep again after that, not only because of how brutal the sleep paralysis was, but because I still don't feel right.
You ever had sleep paralysis?
Only briefly. I know Meow's had it a lot more. Sleep paralysis.
Yeah? I've only had it once, and it was genuinely the most disturbing thing I've ever gone through in my life. I hated it.
This is written by someone that experienced that.
Yeah. Like, I remember waking up in bed, being unable to move. My room was perfectly normal, but there was something, like, crouched at the foot of my bed. It was, like, this thin, skinny woman with long black hair covering her face, and it crawled up onto my fucking chest and tried to strangle me, and I could feel it strangling me, and I could see, like, one red eye peeping out, and I kept trying to scream for help from, like, my housemate, and I couldn't, and this lasted, like, minutes, and it was horrible. And then I finally woke up, did sit up in bed, cried a bit, and then called out for my housemate for real. It was fucking terrible. The next day we literally went around the flat with Sage and the Bowron, just banging the drums, screaming "fuck off demons," and like blowing Sage into every corner of the flat. It was like 1 week after I moved in or something, and it just freaked me the fuck out.
Yeah.
Hated it. Oh my god. Apparently that thing is a common one that you see, called a night hag. One of my coven members called it a succubus. Something that tries to like steal life from you, like not the image popular culture has of a succubus.
Yeah.
Either way, cleansing was a good idea, because I haven't had it since.
Yeah.
But it was fucking disgusting, and yeah, I genuinely could feel fingers around my neck, like it was fucked. What about you?
Mine just sort of are like I'm lying in bed, I just can't move. So that's gonna be a very
Okay.
kind of very simplistic one, I guess. I know Meow's had more nightmaric sleep paralysis moments. You want to talk about any of yours, Meow?
It's hard to explain. I've had ones where the room was basically the same, but like it was filling up like an aquarium. I felt like I couldn't breathe. I've had ones where you kept like reoccurringly get home, walk into the bedroom, say hi, repeat. Like, as if stuck in a loop. I've had ones where I was attacked and I could physically feel the pain, even though in your dreams you're not supposed to have physical feeling.
Yeah, I remember that.
It's very weird to explain.
Like, it feels real, but it's not. It's very vivid when you get them.
Yeah.
A friend of mine had one recently in her place, which was creepy old man shuffling towards the bed. We went around with the Barons and the Sage again for that one. Shouting fuck off demons. It is a lot of fun to just sit there whacking on a drum, shouting at the top of your lungs.
Yeah.
And just tossing salt over your left shoulder and just kind of being like, right, my place, fuck off. You're not allowed in here. Fucking squatters, you don't pay rent, fuck off.
Oh god.
It's very cathartic after you go through something like that.
Yes, I can imagine so. And as I said,
I'll also probably add that we should not be using white sage. That is close practice to, I can't remember the exact tribe, but it is a Native American tribe on the west coast, I believe. So probably don't do that one. Rosemary is a good substitute. I think we used rosemary and lavender.
Yeah. Yeah.
But saging out the house is basically a term at this point, so...
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's just been literally just a case of, like, I couldn't move. I mean, I've had weird dreams where someone's been standing next to me talking at me. And, like, everything's horrendously real.
I don't like that.
Yeah. I get it a lot with certain people.
I think I had it, like, one other time, but it might have just been, like, a dream. It's kind of hard to tell. But I was really, really young, and it's back when I had a bunk bed. And waking up in bed and hearing a knocking and seeing a light coming out of the cupboard door. My childhood bedroom had a boiler closet in it. We called it the hot press. So it was the door to the hot press. If I say that without context, no one knows what the fuck I'm on about. I remember opening the door and it just being an empty black room with a single light shining down on, like, my grandparents' bed, and my granddad was sitting up in the bed. I remember being, like, just genuinely confused, like, Bob, why are you here? And Bob then was like, I'm not Bob, I'm a zombie. And turned into a fucking zombie and tried to kill me. And I think it, like, tore my guts out or something like that, because I remember, like, pain and then waking up in a start on my bunk bed for real and just being, like, deeply upset. It was a very strange dream. I was like 7. I was very young, but I've never forgotten it.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's sleep paralysis, because I didn't feel like I wasn't unable to move, but it has some similarities, so maybe. Who knows?
Who knows? What is beyond? We only ever find out once. Anyway, let's just carry on with this. Did we read this one? I don't remember. Well, the spider and the thing in my room are gone. The only other thing outside my window, I feel like it's still there. I look out the window again and see nothing, but still I can't shake the feeling that I'm being watched. Wednesday. I stare out the window as we roll down the dusty streets of Echo. Every road, every corner, every trail, every tree has a memory attached to it. There in the middle of the dusty parking lot that belonged to the corner market in that tiny stand. That used to be where we get ice cream after begging for $1 from my parents. It's crumbled and boarded up now, paint peeling off in tiny chips. And there in front of Duke's house is a big flat rock where Jenna was standing when she told me she was going to run away from home. I can still remember almost exactly how she was silhouetted against the red sunset behind her. And the old train yard where in the middle of summer Leo kissed me for the first time while I was sweating buckets under the noon sun. He didn't seem to care though. I look over at Leo, he's got one hand on the wheel glancing up at the rearview mirror occasionally to trade jabs with Flynn. I'm regretting not letting him know we're coming, you know? You'll be lucky if we even get his ass out of bed. We'll call him then. And what if he doesn't answer? Leo doesn't say anything, instead focusing back on the road. TJ fills the silence after a while.
Well, I don't think it's too weird. It's just like we're hanging out again. Nothing wrong with that.
Sure, but making it about Carl is just weird. Maybe it's his birthday. It was like next week, 2 weeks tops.
Oh, hush, Flynn. It'll be just like when we're hanging out. You acting weird about it isn't going to help anything.
Carl starts slowing down and I snap out of my daydreaming to look up, knowing that we definitely weren't at Carl's house yet. That's when I see a round canine figure standing further up on the side of the road.
Oh, here we go again.
It's Janice's piss time. She's standing in the
It's
dirt.
time for a pissing Janice.
The dirt separates the road and the field in front of the broken and rusted barbed wire fence.
I love trying to explain this game to people.
Yeah. I
Like
think
being like, hey, it's a gay furry dating sim, but not really. Like at one point, no coyotes in the middle of the road having a meth, like, high, and it's just pissing right in front of you. And it's fucking scary.
I think that's Janice. I look over at Leo and he seems concerned, his brows furrowed, the same as he careful steers the car right up.
Careful. It's probably meant to carefully.
Yeah.
But yeah, careful steers.
Steers the car right up next to Coyote. I can see why. She's crouched over, elbows on her knees, staring at the ground. Roll down your window, Chase. I do as he says, struggling a bit with the old crank handle. The hell is she doing out here? We came to a stop next to Coyote, kicking up some dust. I don't know. Hey! Leo leans into me and smiles out at Janice, who's still looking at the ground. Everything go... Leo's voice cuts off in a weird choking sound. I look at him confused, then look back at the window, and I can't help myself but gasp. It wasn't hard to tell from the angle of the dust kicking up at the van, but now I see Janice has her pants around her thighs. I can also see everything else. I sit back quickly and avert my eyes, looking out the windshield instead. What the fuck?
Oh my god, Leo, keep going.
Jenna whispers at her voice strained. Oh, sorry, Leo stops talking and I glance out the window again. Janice is looking at us now, she's smiling. It's a weird smile because she isn't touching her eyes. It's unnerving. Leo stares back. Leo, let's just go. I hiss out the side of my mouth, staring at the windshield again. He seems reluctant to do so, looking concerned. Janice, do you need some help? His tone is one you might use with a toddler or a crazy person. I don't hear her say anything except maybe a grunt. Leo bravely keeps trying though. We can give you a rip. Leo stops talking in time for me to hear a pattering sound. Sound I recognise well as my time as a kid pissing in the dirt roads of Echo. The van lurches forward and resumes a smoother acceleration back onto the empty road. Holy shit, what the fuck was that? I don't... Leo's frowning, looking as confused as I've ever seen him. Should I go back?
No.
I look back and see TJ covering his face.
Maybe she'd be having some kind of psychotic episode.
Or maybe she just really had to piss. I don't think so. Did you see the way she looked at me? She's probably just on something, isn't everyone? No, she doesn't do stuff like that. Well, maybe she does. You never know with people. Again, Leo doesn't say anything and neither does anyone else. We don't go back. I fucking told you. Leo stabs the doorbell again, frustration etched across his face. I shift the bag I'm carrying around in my paws, trying to look through the frosted glass on the sides of the door. Maybe he's getting high?
He should still be able to hear.
I mean, maybe he doesn't want to? TJ holds up his phone.
He's not answering his phone either.
Leo locks in the door again, hard, his bicep bulging.
Well, I guess breaking the door might get us inside.
Leo stands back, pausing his waist, as he's taking a deep breath. He's determined, and I guess he should be considering he's set all this up. We should have just told him to meet us at the diner or something. Do they lock their windows?
What?
Leo growls. It's not like we're breaking in. TJ's ears pinned back, a frown in his face. The wolf puts a paw on his forehead, closing his eyes. Sorry, but I think if he's asleep, we shouldn't be too hard. It shouldn't be too hard to just get in and wake him up. I look over at the side of the house and see a window well. I point at it. What about that? Too small.
I could probably fit.
She helps with the front porch and crouches over next to the window, pushing at it.
Wait, there's a security sticker here.
Well, you got to arm it first, and Carl's such a lazy ass, I don't know if he did. Oh, I know he didn't. Besides, If we set it off, we can just run. It's not like they'll show up anytime soon.
Or instead of acting like criminals, we can just stay until the cops show up. She knows us.
Jenna hesitates, then pushes the window again, but it doesn't budge.
Locked.
Please try the one above it.
That's too high.
I'll boost you up.
I think this is going a little too far.
Leo ignores him and stands next to the window before making a platform for Jenna's foot with his paws. Steadying herself on her paws against the wall of the house, Leo easily lifts Jenna and manages to grab the ledge. Fucking hell, this is so fucking stupid. Flynn mutters next to me. I make a point of not looking over at him. I feel for Leo. He's worked hard to make this happen and everyone's giving him a hard time over it. Jenna pushes against the window and it slides open easy. Yes, so now I'm going to boost you all the way up. Hold on.
Careful.
Like them some kind of cheerleading duo, Leo shoves Jenna all the way up with one paw and she disappears through the window. Her bushy tail is the last thing we see until she pokes her head back through.
Kitchen. I fell in the sink.
Great, now unlock the door. She disappears again and make her way back to the front door. Leo, you're fucking crazy. If you don't shut your fucking mouth, friend, I'll kick you right in the vagina. Sound good? Jesus, come here. Leo turns on them, one foot in front of the other. Flynn shuts up, then and me and TJ are left to shift around uncomfortably on the porch. Finally, we hear the door rattling and it opens.
Called his name, but he didn't answer.
Well, he's gonna be here. It's not like he can go anywhere or would want to. Carol's house is about as massive and immaculate as I remember it. It's a mansion after all. There are a few bowls and wrappers lying around the marble counters. I assume this because Carl's parents aren't here to tell him not to be a slob. Flynn immediately heads up the stairs. Yo, Carl! I set the bag down on the table and TJ sets the cake there too. I look over at him. You alright?
Yeah, why?
Just asking, how was your hike with Jenna?
Alright. Wish you were there, though.
Yeah, me too.
I might go again in a day or two if you'd like.
Sure, why not? I promised myself that this wasn't an empty promise. Well, he's not in this room. Flynn actually looking a bit worried now.
One moment.
Sure.
Sorry, the kitten is growing in her adult coat and my body has decided to be allergic to it briefly. Very annoying. Happens every time I get a new pet and then it goes away.
Yeah.
But it means I've got probably about a week of being allergic again. I just got over the last... Either way. Maybe he went for a walk.
Carl, walking in this weather? Hell no.
Does he have other friends? Maybe he went out somewhere.
I don't think so. Well, let's do a quick sweep of the house. It's a big place. Flynn heads back upstairs and Leo head for the downstairs with Jenna. TJ looks around the kitchen, then moves over to the living room checking the couches. I decide to head out back, if not just to get away from the others, since things feel unusually tense between us today. As I step out into the backyard, I'm a little surprised. It's different from when I was last here. The playset is gone, and so is the massive trampoline they used to have. The biggest shock, though, is seeing that the huge treehouse that used to sit in the old oak tree is gone. I stand there for a moment, feeling a vague sense of loss. I have too many good memories of that place. Time moves so fucking fast. After a while, I remember why I'm here and look around again. No Carl, of course, but I start walking back anyway, looking behind bushes even though I know it's stupid. While I feel for Leo, I could see where Flynn was coming from. It would have been a way better idea to warn Carl and just meet up somewhere else. Leo just gets carried away for a little when he sets his heart on something. Probably had the whole scene planned out in his head before he even got here. Mostly I just feel really bad for him. He's been working really hard to make this trip interesting for all of us. I think it's our fault more than anything that nothing's worked out. Flynn's a dick, Carl doesn't care, Jenna's also kind of being a dick, and TJ's always into stuff that none of us are. And I'm just boring. As I round the corner of the house, I'm surprised to see Flynn standing there. He must have come out the front door. Oh, hey Flynn, I thought you went upstairs. Flynn doesn't seem surprised at all to find me here, which makes me think he was looking for me. I did. It wasn't there. I thought I'd look outside. Oh, well, he's not in the back, so... I don't know why, but Flynn is making me feel awkward as hell. Is something wrong? Flynn folds his arms and leans up against the house. Well, Carl's missing, and I guess that's a problem, huh? Yeah? I tried to think of something to say. Well, I'm sure he's just hiding somewhere, or maybe he's out at the diner, probably just got tired of being stuck in his own house. Yeah. He straightens up and steps forward. I don't know why, but I take a step back. You were hanging out with Leo yesterday, right? Yeah, for a little while. You spent the night there? I pause for a second and give him the hint that I'm not exactly okay with him prying like this, but I answer anyway. No, I got back to my hotel at like 3. Huh. Yeah. I start to turn back around. Hey, why don't we check the basement? Jace. He's got the same tone as disappointed parent, and that kind of pisses me off. I turn back around. What? You realize what you're doing is stupid, right? Excuse me? Getting back with him during the fucking spring break? Pretty stupid, huh? I have a feeling that's where this was going, and now that I know for sure, I'm definitely pissed off now. How is that any of your business? How is it not? You two seem pretty okay with making it our business, right? No? He sneers at me. Cuddling up at the lake while our friend died is pretty messed up, isn't it? What? I saw that you two. You know I did. So what? What does that have to do with Sydney? I guess I just find it weird that you'd start up your old flame on what is practically a grave. What the hell are you talking about? Feelings change from anger to bewilderment. I didn't know what he was talking about, I just didn't know why. Well, since it's all out in the open now, why not talk about it? You're the one that is put out in the open. In the worst way possible, by the way. His sneer disappears. I just don't get why you're connecting those two things. We weren't even talking about Sydney. How? How else does that make... How else did that lake make you think of? I'm at a loss for words, totally confused. This is Flynn. I've never talked about Sydney with him after it happened. I was too scared to. Well, I don't think of it as his grave or anything. Oh, really? It's just a fucking lake to you, then? He didn't die there, Flynn. He was at the hospital. It might as well have been there, right? I swallow hard, wanting desperately to get back inside. Let's not talk about this right now. Oh, I guess I was confused. Everyone's been telling me that I need to talk about it. Oh, not like this. Not with just me here. We should all be together if we want to have this talk. I turn around again, making it clear that I'm leaving. Wait. The change of tone in his voice makes me turn around again. It's soft, almost pleading. I'm not used to hearing Flynn talk like this. I'm just trying to look out for you, Chase. He's not... I feel some of that anger returning. He's not what? But he's not exactly a stable guy, is he? I laugh. And you are? He dips his head, and I can tell he's embarrassed, even though he doesn't have the ears to tell me so. And not just you, all of us. We're all fucking crazy, aren't we? Flynn smiles a little bit. Well, that's what happens when you live in Echo. That's what all the kids in school said. Flynn frowns again. Listen, I'm just looking out for you. He's just... I sigh loudly and cover my face with a paw for a second. I was hoping to change the subject, but now we're back to Leo. I'm surprised when I lower my paw and Flynn is just a few feet away. Flynn, just drop it. It's none of your business. His gaze hardens. I think it is when I see a friend taking advantage of another friend. Taking advantage of me? Yeah, has been since you were fucking 15. I immediately know what he's implying. Fuck off, Flynn. You're acting like my fucking parrot. He takes another step forward and I back away, but he angles it so that I'm pressed up against the house. I get the urge to run away, but I feel like I'm doing that will only affirm how much this has escalated. There's a change to him as well, something unfamiliar in his eyes, in his stance, in his voice even. He leans down to my height. Like playing with fire, huh? You've seen it in his eyes? He's fucking crazy. He pokes me in the chest to emphasize his words. Crazy? Kind of like you are right now? Flynn pulls away, straightening his back, but still looking down at me. Yeah, well, maybe I am. The awkward silence stretches out and seems to go on, and then seems to go on and on until... You know what? I think... Chase? Both of our muzzles flick in the direction of Leo's voice, mine to the right, Flynn's to the left. Leo stands there, ears perked forward, though his expression seems neutral. I wonder how long he's been standing there. I can tell Flynn's wondering the same thing. Any sign of him? No. I slide out from under Flynn, making my way towards Leo. I checked the back, didn't see him anywhere. Leo doesn't even look at me, staring over the top of my head. I look and see Flynn staring right back, his shoulders still tense. That's when I feel Leo's heavy, strong arm drape over my shoulder. Flynn's eyes narrow. Let's get back inside then. As Leo leads me away, I get the feeling that he's still staring Flynn down, even though I don't look up to check.
I'm getting worried.
No shit, Carl doesn't just disappear from his house like this. He doesn't have anywhere to go.
Calm down, he could be anywhere. He has more friends than just us.
The fact that he isn't answering his phone is kind of fucking suspicious. Leo holds up his paw. You know how he forgets to charge his phone sometimes? Flynn's getting more and more frustrated, staring at the pace of it, starting to pace around the living room. He never goes out with other friends, that's the problem. Listen, maybe we should just wait. You can all wait here, I'm gonna find him. Flynn makes for the door, and before anyone can say anything, it's slamming shut behind him. We all sit in silence for a while, staring at the door that Flynn just took off through. Leo lets his breath out a long sigh, rubbing his face. Alright, let's think. Where else does Carl have to go? Comic book shop? Leo looks at me for a second. Maybe if someone else gave him a ride, but like Flynn said, does he have anyone else to do that for him?
Well, if you guys are going to do that, then I'll probably stay here, in case he comes back. Yeah, and we can keep looking.
Sounds good. Leo pulls his keys out of his pocket, then looks back at me. Coming with me, Chase? Yeah. I follow Leo out the door, actually starting to feel worried about Carl. We walk around the mall for about an hour, checking the food court every shop we pass. It's clear that the idea was pretty hopeless from the beginning. Jenna lets us know Carl hasn't showed up at his house either, and that they're heading back to the motel. Finally, Leo and I call it quits and head back to the house for walking to the diner for dinner. So, where do you think he went? Leo's hunched over, an elbow on the table and his chin in his paw, staring out the window. Dunno. Do you think we should call someone? Like, the cops? No, not yet. He's an adult, so they won't really look into it till it's been a few days. We should probably call his parents, though, if he doesn't show up by tonight. I don't say anything, stirring my milkshake around. I glance back over towards the kitchen area, watching the very tired-looking Janice gather up plates for taking them to the back. I was pretty much mortified when I realised she was here and about to take the order, mostly because I was embarrassed for her. She didn't really say anything, though, just took her order and left. I examined my milkshake closely, though for what I'm not sure. I'm not too worried, though. He's been under a lot of stress and probably just wanted to leave town for a while. But who would he want to do that with, and why wouldn't he tell us? Leo sips in his milkshake and I wait for him to finish. I guess things really have changed. Yeah? I rest my chin on my palm, meeting his eyes so he knows I'm listening. I mean, the way Flynn's was acting all day, he really can't stand us anymore. Carl probably just feels the same way. I don't think so. Flynn's usually been that way, right? Not like that. Like the way he's been talking to you earlier. So he did here. Guess you were right. I should have left shit alone. We all used to fit together so well, but now we've all changed and it's like we've been bending ourselves to fit again. I guess that's just life, right? Leo grunts and keeps staring at the window. It's clear I'm actually wanted us all to work out to give us an opportunity for one last hurrah before we separated for good. And now I'm actually pretty angry at myself and at the others. This is our last chance to really say our goodbyes and it's like we don't care at all. Jane and TJ are off doing their own thing, Carl's getting lost and probably high, and Flynn's being Flynn. I lean forward, then grinning. You know, I'm really happy you planned all this. Slowly Leo shifts his attention from the sunset to my face. I smile widely for him. This is the most fun I've had all year, even though everyone's acting like a dick. I dip my head self-consciously. Including me. I know, but the whole thing has been reminding me about a lot of the good things in the town. Even though things have been kind of shitty, I think it's a good note to leave off on. Leo raises his brows. Because weren't things always shitty as a part of the experience? Leo stares at me, and I feel my grin start to fade. Then he reaches forward and rubs a thumb up my nose. I blink in surprise, and he shows me the smear of white on his thumb pad. Sorry, it was hard to take you seriously, looking like a cokehead. He grins and licks his thumb. I blush and grab a napkin to wipe my face, but Leo rests a paw on my arm. But seriously, thanks for trying at least. Leo looks like he's about to say something else, hesitates, then opens his muzzle again.
Shall I do this one?
Sure.
Cute.
Leo and I look up to find a lanky, patchy, ugly, ring-tailed cat staring down at us with beady black eyes.
I don't know if you knew, but there's a lot of people here trying to enjoy their meal.
Clint puts a paw down the edge of the table, leaning in.
Could you try not to ruin it for us?
He grins at me, showing how many teeth he's missing. Guess he graduated from Huffing Point since the last time I saw him.
The hell you doing here, Chase? Didn't you dump his fat ass?
I grimace. I can't tell if he's joking or not, and he's still the same asshole that I remember it as. I haven't talked to him in years. Well, that kind of looks like you dumped your own ass, Clint. What happened to you? I can see Clint's brain work as he digests what I said, deciding whether or not they should be offended. I can also see his tail twitching behind him, and it's pretty patchy too, leaving some parts of it bald like a rat's tail. Actually, Clint, you're right. We're trying to eat, and there's a smelly, ugly, ring-tailed skeleton ruining it for us. Clint flicks his attention from me to Leo, smiles sweetly at him. Mind doing us a favour and getting the fuck out? Clint leans in low to the table, putting his face next to Leo's. Leo keeps a straight face and I'm impressed because he can smell the stench of Clint's breath even from here.
Think you're funny, Bina.
It's spick. Spick? It's spick.
I have no idea what these words mean.
No idea.
It's so American.
If you're
Are
trying
there
to...
any Americans in chat? Can anyone explain this?
If you're trying to make me mad, you might as well do it right, eh? Leo takes a sip from his milkshake nonchalantly when Clint gapes at him. His brain, which I imagine is Swiss cheese at this point, tries to come up with some kind of retort.
I'm guessing Spick is Hispanic. Like he's Mexican. But what the fuck is a beaner? Like, I just think of baked beans.
No, I have no fucking clue.
I'm so confused. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah? Well, what I tell you to do the same, but you've got a sister at home, don't you? Clint moves fast, swinging a fist up around Leo's jaw. Leo's ready for him and lunges to the side, his fist still glances at the side of his face. He grabs Clint's arm and yanks him down onto the table, which knocks over my milkshake and sends it splashing onto my lap. I gasp and stand up to move the side of the table while Leo starts to rub Clint's face into the mess, smashing onto the table a few times.
Stop it.
I jump as Janice shouts right next to me. Leo hears her too and turns around while still holding Clint down. The dead look is still in her eyes and the fur on her face is matted like she's been crying a lot, but hasn't washed since.
I'm not gonna deal with this today, Leo.
You know Clint started it. Leo's ears are flat and he looks at Janice, clearly thrown off. Underneath him, Clint snarls and thrashes.
Am I gonna have to tase from the back?
Slowly Leo backs off Clint, who immediately shoves himself off the table. I can see Leo prepare himself in case Clint takes another swing, but he doesn't even look at him. He's already dirty tank top smeared from milkshake. He stumbles to the door and disappears outside.
Clean up that fucking mess before you leave.
With that, the old Kato turns.
Weirdly Irish.
With that, the old Kato turns and stalks off to the back. She leaves me and Leo to stare at each other before I ruefully wipe up the spilled milkshake with the brown napkins. There's only two other patrons in the diner, with us a skunk and a jackrabbit. But I can feel their eyes on us the whole time. It only adds to the embarrassment. What do you think our problem is? I ask Leo under my breath as we come back from tossing the ball of whipped napkins into the trash can. He just shrugs, though I follow him quietly out the diner into the late afternoon light outside. We walk in silence for a while, with me walking awkwardly because of my soaked and sticky pants, incredibly uncomfortable in my thighs. We stop at the motel where I change and shower before grabbing a fresh change of clothes. We start back out again. I think about staying behind at the motel, but I feel like that would be a dick move with what Leo's been through today. As we walk back, Leo takes a detour, stopping at the convenience store. The fight has made things more awkward between us, so I just shove my paws into my pockets and follow Leo. We go back to where we grabbed we go to the back where he grabs the 12 pack. He doesn't say anything to me either as he makes his way to the front to pay. Finally, when we're back outside, he nudges me in the direction behind the convenience store. Let's sit. I lead the way because we've both done this dozens of times before. We step off the asphalt and down a little ways into the brush where Leo pulls me in up onto a boulder. Leo sighs, pulling out the first beer bottle. Leaning back, he pulls out his keys and uses the bottle opener and the keychain before handing it over to me. He does the same for himself and practically chugs the whole thing before grabbing another even before I'm able to take my first swig. I don't comment on it, instead looking out at the sunset, thinking about how nice it would be to just sort of run off into the wilderness. At least for a little while. I lean back and sigh, noticing the white and brown splotches in the knees of Leo's jeans. Leo's jeans. What you said to Clint, that was pretty mean. He said some pretty mean stuff too. It's not like I was saying that shit to him. Seeing me lying back, Leo shifts closer to me, allowing me to rest my head against his thigh. Again, the familiar position probably isn't a good idea, but I just don't care. So does Clint still live with his dad? No, he went to prison 2 years ago. Really? Because of... yeah. Shit. I sit in silence, enjoying our quiet surroundings. As I lay there, I hear Leo open another bottle, then another. Finally lets out a big sigh. Chase, come back to Echo. I close my eyes, turning my vision blood red against the sunset. Maybe, just not yet. He doesn't press the issue, instead reaching out for another bottle. By the time I get to my second one, the rest are gone. As we walk back to Leo's house in silence, he occasionally brushes his tail up against my own. I let him. He's mildly drunk and sort of excused for it now. I do have to push his muzzle away when he leans up against me for support after his feet hit a sudden dip in the road. I'm busy trying to steady him when I hear footsteps pounding up behind us. Before I know it, Leo shoved me hard to the side and I go stumbling into the weeds. Whirling around, I see a dark figure running off the side from Leo. His attack aborted as he saw the wolf had seen him. He comes back around and I immediately see that it's Clint and he's got a crowbar with one paw. My stomach drops so I look from him to Leo, who's got a giant smile on his face, that this is exactly what he wanted to happen. What the hell? Come back for more, Clint. He doesn't say anything, so he just screams and runs at Leo again. Usually I wouldn't be worried about Leo in a fight with Clint, but the crowbar and the fact that Leo can barely stand has me worried. Leo backpedals and ducks low and lunges forward, which I don't think Clint expects. His grunt is guttural, but to my surprise he doesn't go down. Instead he grips the back of Leo's shirt before raising the crowbar and bringing it down hard into Leo's back with a solid meaty thud. I gasp and cringe, starting to jog towards them. Clint presses forward and Leo trips over something, landing on his butt. Clint raises the crowbar again and Leo raises the paw. For about 2 seconds they play a game of Leo moving his paws around his head, anticipating the swing. Clint meanwhile tries to keeps trying to re-angle the crowbar so that Leo will miss. He doesn't get a chance though, because that's when I reach them. I'm not exactly a good fighter considering I've never been in a fight before, but the idea of Leo getting his face beaten with a crowbar provides me with the terror that spurs me on. I jump on his back and grab a handful of fur on his forehead and yank back as hard as I can. I guess I should have hit him or something, but it seems to work alright. His remaining teeth flash in the porch light as I get a hot blast of his rancid breath as he snorts angrily. Suddenly I'm down on the asphalt, feeling like my forehead had just been caved in. He must have somehow swung the crowbar back and hit me. I desperately rub my head, imagining a skull shattered into a million pieces like an egg, but everything feels like it's still in shape. The fight's still going on, I can now hear Leo snarling. It's not a sound I've heard that often, but it's deep and way scarier than anything Clint could have managed. I try to focus on the spot and see their bodies tangled together. When I do, I see that Clint's on top again, crowbar raised, pointy and down, aimed at Leo's face. I start to crawl towards them, but there's no way I'm going to make it. Again, the sound of something hard striking flesh, but this time it isn't Clint hitting Leo. It's Clint hisses in pain this time as he arches back, burying his fangs. There's a dark shape behind him, but before I can focus on, Leo's massive paw smashes into the side of Clint's face. Leo's not playing this time. In fact, it looks like he put everything he had into that punch, and the sound it makes is like a slab of beef being thrown against concrete. Clint's body visibly goes slack before he slumps down against Leo, only to be shoved roughly to the side. I crawl up next to the wolf and he looks over at me as I do. His paw immediately goes to my head to steady it as he looks closer at my face. Fuck, did he hit you? That's when I realise I have a massive headache and it feels like it's full of water. I rub the spot that itches a bit right above my eyebrow and my pads come away slightly dark and bloody. That fucking piece of shit. Leo sends another back fist into the side and down Clint's face.
Hey, that's enough, Leo.
That's when I remember that it was someone else that actually saved Leo. The voice is familiar, but it isn't until I look up to the source that I recognise Kudzo. He's breathing hard and holding the crowbar that Clint dropped. dark spots around the eyes blend in with the night and accentuate how wide his eyes actually are. He looked spooked.
What the hell are you guys doing?
He sounds pissed enough, and I feel a little defensive. Hey, you tried to run up at us. Gutso's eyes flick over and to look at me before focusing back on Leo.
I thought we had this shit figured out. Why the hell are you fighting again?
I don't really get what this Gutso guy's freaking out so much. His nostrils flare with each breath. You'd think he was the one that almost got his brains ran through with a crowbar. Calm the fuck down, you know how Clint is.
He wouldn't do half the crap he does if you didn't antagonize him so much. You say he was a bully, but from what I've seen, it's the reverse.
It's hard to think of Leo as a bully, but the way he acted towards Clint and the diner was a bit much, even if it was Clint. Hey, if you can't take it, then maybe you shouldn't dish it, eh? Leo grins and sticks out a paw to Gutso, who glares but nevertheless reaches down to help him up. Leo promptly pulls me up with him. As I get to my feet, a wave of dizziness instantly hits me and I stumble into Leo. Fuck, see? Leo steadies me and looks into my eyes, worry etched all over my face. I'm fine, I'm just dizzy for a sec. It's not fine, do you feel sick? Can you even see straight? Seriously, I'm fine, just give me a minute. Butcher, I'm gonna kick that hick when he wakes up. At that moment, Clint makes a snorting sound and starts rolling over. Leo's eyes flash to where he was laying, but Gutso steps up between the two, still glaring.
No, get the fuck back home and take care of the otter. I'm gonna see if I can keep him from trying to kill you later on down the road.
Fat chance, he's been wanting to kill me since middle school. Clint starts to sit up, supporting himself on both paws as he looks around.
Go!
Whatever. Leo turns back to me and his eyes soften as he puts his arms around my shoulders. Come on, we might need to go to the hospital. I'm fine, really. Low tones in Gutso's voice murmuring to Clint fades off as we stumble into the night. No, you're not fine. He hit you fucking hard. God damn that fucking idiot. He could have killed you. I put my paw back on the sore on my forehead and rub at it. Leo grabs my wrist. Don't do that. You'll infect it. We'll clean it up back at my place. Swear to God, I'm not going to leave my house without my gun ever again. Suddenly Leo's face takes an odd look. Ugh, 1 second. He makes a right to steady me with both paws and stumbles off to the side of the road. It's dark and I can't see him, and sure as hell can hear a retch followed by a splash. This happens about 3 more times before Leo shakily but more steadily approaches me from the darkness, a sheepish grin in his face. You okay? Yeah, just had a little too much. Really? The Leo I know could down 15 cans and still walk. Hey, rolling around with a crazy long tail sitting on you won't do your gut any favours. Sure. Leo chuckles and wraps his arm around me again, but this one feels more intimate rather than just being there to keep me steady. We walk in silence for a while, just enjoying the evening air. The temperature is always perfect here when the sun is gone. It gets me more annoyed though, because I imagined we'd be having a much better time if Clint hadn't just tried to murder us. At least that's what I imagined he was trying to do, since hitting someone with a crowbar isn't exactly fucking around. Has it gotten this bad between you and Clint? Leo squeezes me. It's always been this way. Looked like he was trying to kill you. Well, the green girl really hates me. Leo laughs and falls silent for a while, ears pinned back. I guess he was angrier than usual. I think it's just that I might have pissed him off more than I usually do. I look up at him. About that, what you said to him in the back of the diner was really awful. You too? How can he expect to not get hit with that if he's going off about us and me being a spick? I think spick must be the word. Leo barks out a laugh. Talk shit, get it, I always say. I don't know, man. What his dad did is different. It's not his fault, you know? Hey, you may be fucked up, but he can still make a decision to be a complete dick to everyone, can't he? I wish Jenna was here to help back me up on how this isn't exactly fair to Clint. Anyway, I think he was on something. Did you see how crazy he looked? He's always on something. And speaking of which... Leo steps slow and I look ahead to see the isolated house further up the road. The porch light is on and I see a skinny figure get out of the chair and start walking up the front yard. It's clear he means to intercept us and I slow down with Leo as he draws closer. Duke? Leo nods at him. The skinny weasel looks us both up and down, resting a paw to pull a drag from what looks like a cigar. I assume it's actually a blunt because it smells like Carl. He's as patchy and as healthy looking as I remember him. Not as torn up as Clint, but still bad enough to know that he's done his fair share of dabbling in meth. He doesn't say anything, and after a while, Leo clears his throat. Isn't it a nice...
He's here.
As Duke cuts off, Leo staring right at me, and as Duke cuts off Leo, he's staring right at me, so I assume it's me he's talking about. Hi, Duke. I probably couldn't have said it any more awkwardly. Leo steps forward, partially in front of me. Did you need something? Duke lets out a long stream of smoke towards us. Definitely a blunt.
Same shit's been happening to me. After you told me about it.
Leo looks at him, looking politely puzzled, though I can see his tail twitching behind him.
You've been seeing shit. Now I'm seeing shit.
It's quiet for a few seconds, then Leo laughs. Well, maybe lay off the drug cocktail.
No, it's different, the shit I see. Almost real. I saw him.
He nods at me again for some reason. I'm starting to feel really uncomfortable. Leo laughs, and this time it's much more forced. He starts pushing me along further up the street. Sorry, Duke, but Chase is taken. Janice is still single, though. Duke follows us, walking along the dirt as we stay on the asphalt.
When did he get here?
Leo doesn't say anything, keeps pushing me along. I can see Duke getting angrier, and I don't want to another fight, so I finally butt in. I got here on Saturday. Is something wrong, Duke? Duke doesn't answer. He just stops and watches us go, a frown etched across his face. I keep on looking over my shoulder at him, but he doesn't move, and he doesn't take his eyes off us. What the fuck? Stop looking at him, Chase. What was he talking about? Does it matter? Keep moving and hope we don't run into any more of them psychos. I manage not to look back again, but I feel his eyes in the back of my neck the entire time. Even though the instructions say only take 2, Leo gives me 3 acetaminophen pills. After that, he takes me to the bathroom and starts cleaning the cut on my forehead. I grimaced against the sting of the rubbing alcohol. We really should take you to ER. This might even need stitches. I lean my head into his paws because not having to hold myself up feels good. No, it's not that bad. Besides, even if it is a concussion, they'll just send me home and tell me to get some rest. Along with a $500 bill. I played football, I know, but you never know how serious it could be. I sigh and don't say anything, deciding it would be easier just not to argue. Leo starts to debate whether or not to shave the fur, but when I finally get annoyed and tell him to get on with it. As he prods around, I can feel the area around the cut swelling, and I wonder if I'm going to get a black eye. Leo finally steps back and starts putting everything back into the first aid kit. Wait. Leo glances at me questioningly. Aren't you hurt? He thinks for a second. I don't think so. I feel fine, I mean. Turn around. I see Clint hit Leo with a crowbar, and he'd hit him hard. Leo sighs for finally turning around, placing his paws in the sink as he stares into the mirror. I look at his back, the black shirt dusty with the dirt that had rolled around him. Carefully lift his shirt up his back. It's not as bad as I thought it would be. I can see the raised fur from growing wild where the crowbar had hit, though. There aren't any cuts here, but I do see some spots of dried blood. You have a bunch of little cuts. I see the smooth muscles under Leo first shift as he flexes them. Really? Must have been for them rocks in the road. I think my shirt came up a little when we were wrestling around. Give me the alcohol. Leo sighs again but hands it over. And take off your shirt. He smirks at that and slowly, purposely, sensibly strips his shirt off. I tried to ignore him, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't turned on by his body. It's been a long time since I last saw him shirtless, and he's kinda changed. He's thicker, broader in the shoulders and chest, and muscles smoother and a little more filled out. I swallow and start to dab the alcohol into the cuts. He makes no indication of feeling any pain, instead swishing his tail around and flicking it up between my legs. Again, I don't know why, but Leo has a way of making you want to play along even if you know it's a bad idea. He's been flirting with me the whole time, so I guess it's just sort of broken down my defences. Once I finish rubbing the alcohol, I let a paw linger on Leo's hip. We both stare at that for a while until Leo finally turns around, leaning back back against the sink. I look over his form, his broad chest down to his thick stomach. Like what you see? When I look back up at him, his brows are raised before I can say anything. He's leaning down. I think he's about to kiss me, so I turn my head to the side, but instead he just nuzzles into the side of my head and brings me in for a hug. I freeze for a second, but relax into his hold after a while, enjoying the feel of his warm fur against mine. He doesn't say anything, just holds me. I could feel his excitement through his pants as he presses into me and starts nibbling at my ear. I gasp as he catches it between his teeth, and I almost moan. Almost moan? Almost moan. He, of course, knows I have sensitive ears. He moans in a little response, and before I know it, he's pulling me up against him. Then he lifts me off the ground and spins around and sits me up on the sink. My head throbs again. I think I'm about to fall, but he holds me onto me before he begins to dragging my muzzle into my neck, kissing and licking his muzzle into my neck for. I gasp and hug around his body, pulling him closer as he licks and nips. Leaning my throat back, I expose more of my neck to him, closing my eyes. The back of my head presses against the mirror. Leo growls, his paws ending up under my shirt, feeling my stomach before moving to my chest. Fucking hell. He moans. It sounds like he's just scratched an unreachable itch, like he's had his first drink of water in days. Leo? I gasp but to tell him to stop, but then his tongue burrows past my fur to lick my skin and my eyes roll. He pulls back finally, and I lower my gaze to meet his. His tongue is hanging out, making him look a little goofy. I can see a few of my short brown hairs on his tongue. He starts to again and again, but this time I don't turn my head away. As he almost reaches me, my eyes suddenly flick to the right. Looking over my shoulder, there's a shot cross. I see a shot cross his expression. Then he jumps up, spins around, knocking over the soap dispenser and first aid kit. I jump too. What? Leo continues to stare, one paw clutching his chest, the other digging into my thigh. I wait for him to finish, but he doesn't go on. Did you see something? I thought I did, just saying things, I guess. Finally, he turns his attention to the first aid kit and leans over, starting to pick everything back up. Slowly I slide down the sink, pushing my shirt back in place, realising that the moment had passed. While I'm curious as to what he saw, I'm also conscious of the fact that the break in our intimacy has made things awkward again. Should we go check the house? Could be Clint. No, it wasn't Clint. Leo grabs his shirt and pulls it back on before turning to me. Just seeing things. I think back to Clint. Well, alright. As we leave the bathroom, Leo looks back in for a moment before flipping the light off. I think this is a little strange. He makes sure to close the door. Leo doesn't make a move on me again that night, instead keeping a few inches between us in the bed. I can't help but wonder if I did something wrong. What I do know is I'm kind of disappointed. Thursday.
So, shall we talk about the use of homophobic tropes to scare a gay audience? Because that's definitely a thing to do. Also, Leo 100% saw Shadow Chase in the mirror.
Ah.
I'm calling it now.
100%, that's what he saw. But yeah, no, the use of homophobia in a queer written narrative for queers, it's certainly a choice. It's like a double-edged sword, really.
Yeah.
But I do think they use it well.
Yes.
It's like to tackle your own internalized homophobia a lot of the time, and that is definitely something people need to be aware of. Also, the fact that Clint and Duke are also gay, kind of. They're all gay. Everyone is gay.
Except Jenna.
This gay man. I think she's bi.
Oh well.
She strikes me as bi. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Either way.
Yeah. Either way, we're on to Thursday now.
Yes.
But yeah, as ever, the writing has been very interesting all the way through.
Typo count is now at 5, I think.
I mean, there was 2 during that one, but I think both of them were things like they just had the last letter dropped off and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Like, it's not a full-on typo,
it's not
but
full
it's
on
a bit
typo,
of one.
but yeah, it's maybe a half point or something. But yeah, it's not
Yeah,
crazy.
like autocorrect kind of did something funny and they didn't check.
Yeah. All right, so carry on. By morning, Leo seems to have perked up a little. It starts with some good news from Flynn. Carl had been in the crawl space. According to him, it'd been too hot to sleep anywhere but there. Of course, that's fucking insane, but it's definitely something Carl might do. In better spirits, Leo suggests we go out to some burger joint, which I agree. On the way we chat about my project. So obviously I don't want to spend all our time just having fun. You've got a project to do after all. Yeah. I don't remind him that most of this messing around has been his idea. Though we need to hang out with we do need to hang out with TJ today. If that's alright. I promised him we would yesterday. He's been feeling kinda down, obviously. I looked down at my sausage biscuit sandwich. The excess grease glistening in the sunlight shining through the window. I was thinking the park. Yeah, that sounds like fun. So what do we still need to do? Take a bite and give myself time to think. Well, honestly, I'm not too sure. The whole premise about the body that was found in the mine. Yeah, what about that? Or what was that about? Well, I read on the website, apparently some guy's mutilated body was found in the mines and everyone in town lost their minds. A website? Yeah. Shouldn't you have a better source than that? Well, especially if it was the whole idea of your project is based off that. I blush. Sometimes someone like Leo chastising me about journalistic integrity is kind of embarrassing. It's not that he's stupid, I guess. I'm just used to feeling like the brains of our little dynamic. I mean, it's all cited. I just need to get the book, which is something else I need to do. Do you have a library card? No. Wow, surprising. But I could sign up for one. Leo nudges me. Don't be bitter, I just want you to do a good job. I'm the one that went to college, I know what I'm doing. Leo laughs. You know I read a study about college kids. You know I read a study about college kids? Study? Sounds like something you wouldn't know about considering you don't go to college. Right, anyway, it was about college kids. College don't make you smart, just makes you more liberal. Uh-huh. So is that a bad thing? Well, paying $20,000 a year to get indoctrinated don't appeal to me. Don't just appeal to me. I frown. Is that why you stopped going, or you've just been looking at these studies to make yourself feel better about quitting? Leo pauses. That's a strong word. Guess I just realised that what I had was good enough. My dad makes more than most college grads, and he's teaching me the trade too. Leo pauses, he's changing lanes around a massive 16-wheel carrying what looks like steel. And I'm already certified. Okay. Where exactly are you going with this? I just want to make sure you're okay with it, is all. Oh, well, I'm not Jenna, so as long as you're doing what you want, I really don't care what it is you decide to do. Leo smiles. Oh, good. And if we, I'm not saying we will, but if we ever do get together, I'll be able to support you. Well, just don't make fun of me for going to college or what degree I decide to go into. You know you're a good enough writer already. You could have just started up a blog or something. What? I just read that that's what journalism is these days. I start sulking again. Maybe you should stop looking these things up. At least I'm learning to do something. It's not like I just got a degree in psychology and stopped there. Well, didn't you teach me... didn't you tell me you wanted to go into history? Isn't that worse? Let's just drop it. Leo looks at me at the corner of his eye. Chula, I'm not making fun of you. Well, when someone starts sounding like my dad, I think that's a good time to end the conversation. Oh, you're not into that? Definitely not. We drive in silence for a while as Leo pulls his food from the brown, grease-stained paper bag. As we're heading back, he nudges me. Hey, I've got an idea. He talks with his mouth full, one hand holding the sausage biscuit and the other steers. And you're asking me? Hey, both hands on the wheel. Leo chuckles as he swigs from his orange juice carton and steering paw before returning it to the wheel. Even when I'm at the car with you, you still drive like shit. Hey, I'm way more careful when you're with me. That makes me feel so much better. Good. He takes another huge bite. I wait as he chews and then finishes. He takes another bite. You were saying? Oh yeah. You know them train tracks behind my yard? Didn't you say they were important somehow? Yeah, Echo used to be an important junction. Well, why don't we go there and you can fill some stuff? The rail yard's only like 5-minute walk away. I think. Actually, yeah. That's a good idea. Leo smiles, panting a little in the heat, looking proud of himself. Cool. We'll go over there once we get back. It's There's not much left of the old train yard. The building that used to service the junction is basically gone save for the foundations. There are two groups of abandoned freight cars with Golden Gate Southwest and chipped paint on the sides. I'm happy to see it since it'll help with the scenery I'm trying to capture. After doing a few panning shots along with some close-ups of the cars, I lean against the old freight car with my head back. I close my eyes against the heat. It's almost noon as I feel like something's possible to find a good shade out here. For some reason it's only now that I'm realising how stupid it was to do this so early. The sunset would have looked a lot better along with it being a lot cooler. Leo's been gone almost 20 minutes at this point. He said he was going to get some water bottles, but it's been a while. The sweat seeping on my shirt makes my skin crawl. After looking around, I peel it off and hang up against a small metal ladder on the frame of one of the freight cars. I lean back against the exact same spot I was earlier, where it isn't burning hot, and resume closing my eyes. Vaguely I wonder how many miles this thing has covered, how much of the country it's seen. The railway is closed down in the 60s, so it's at least 50 years old. Unless they're just using Echo as a dump for unwanted train cars and left them here recently. A lot older than I am. That's something weirdly comforting about leaning back into something that's been through so much. Almost reassuring. It's like swimming in an old river or lake that's been around for millions of years. Something brief connected to those things that are permanent. I hear rustling through the grass on the other side of the car, but I keep my eyes closed. Leo, I think I'm gonna die. I'm not built for this heat. I wait, but it doesn't say anything. Leo? The rustling starts up again, a long, slow drag through the dried vegetation. This time it sounds like it's coming from under the train. Leo? I finally open my eyes and step away from the car, turning around to look like I can see through it. What are you doing? Obviously trying to scare me. Leo's never as subtle as Jenna. He does fair share of at least trying. I lean over to look under the car, glaring. You know you're not trying. I met with an emptiness under the car. Just dirt, dead grass and rusted rails. Some kind of animal? They're pretty big to be. Jace! Fuck! A heavy paw slams on my shoulder and I jump as Leo shouts right next to my head. I stumble forward, but he grabs me up laughing. Holy shit, I've never seen you jump that hard before. Normally I'd be pissed, but that build-up just had me glad it was Leo. How the hell did you do that? Do what? That whole setup you did? Well, you see, first I take my hand and slap it on your shoulder. No, the whole walking around behind me and making dragging sounds into the car. Huh? Leo looks confused. I frown and I guess it would be some kind of impossible for someone like Leo's size to sneak around like that without me seeing him. Did you hear something? Leo mimics my earlier position and bends over to look under the train. Yeah,
that was a good gag. That was a good build-up of tension, release, and then further dread. It's simple, but it's done well.
Yeah, it's done well.
Yeah.
Sort of confusion afterwards is done very well.
Confusion followed by, wait, that wasn't you saying? What the fuck's coming for them? Yeah.
There's something about it's following. Yeah, but there wasn't anything there.
Probably one of the meth heads, let's be honest.
Probably, yeah.
Probably a meth head.
I thought you were trying to scare me. Well, I was, but I didn't do that. Probably some animal or something. There's a lot of weird wildlife out here, you know. He stands up. That would have been a good idea, though. Something really heavy, like a person. Could have been, you know, a lot weirder people around here, like to come and get drunk or high or whatever. Sounds fun. I must still look a little unnerved because Leo sets a hand on my shoulder. Well, I'm here now, so don't worry. His eyes drift down to look at my torso. Damn, you kept in shape. Well, better shape. I smirk, rubbing a shoulder. Swimming every day helps. Leo rubs my shoulder, grinning. You look good. You always say that. And I always mean it. Well, thanks. I've gotten to the point where I've just stopped pretending that there isn't at least something still there between us. I think I've stopped pretending that nothing's going to happen on this trip eventually. What really worries me is what will happen after. Leo, meanwhile, slides his hand over my stomach. Not that I'd care if you gained any weight, that just happens, but I like you this way. Yeah, it happens. I only hesitate for a moment. I slide my hand under his shirt and Leo makes a soft gasping sound as I press it up against his stomach. His ears fall back and he keeps a grin on his face. Being a wolf makes it harder, you know. I believe you. They're trying to convince me he hasn't really gained weight. He flexes his abs, flattening the soft fur of his stomach against my palm. Steel wrapped in velvet. But you know I'm into that. I get the urge to adjust my pants so my dick isn't jamming so uncomfortably into the crotch. But I don't want to make it that obvious that I'm aroused. You mind feeding some other part of me? You're making me feel fat. I giggle first, sliding my hand up to his torso. This exposes more of his white stomach on the way up to his chest, and I can feel his pounding heart. That better? Leo just gives a breathy, laughing exhale as he lets me feel him. He sidles closer, resting both his hands on my waist. I feel his peck with his hands. I thumb through the fur to find nipples underneath, feeling it harden in response. Leo shudders and grins at me. I think this place does things to us, Chase. Remember our first guess? This isn't the exact spot. Was it really 6 years ago already? I sigh and slide both my hands under his shirt, wrap them around his waist, bury my face in his chest. Leo hugs back as he starts nibbling at my ears, which makes me gasp. Hey, can we just enjoy the moment? Leo giggles. I am. I look up and I'm not sure if I just run into it, but we kiss. It's a small peck, but then Leo puts his hand behind my head and pushes me deeper into the kiss. He opens up his muzzle to clamp around mine, his warm tongue pressing against my lips. I'm still for a moment, and so is he, waiting for me to respond. When I do, it's with my paws around his back, me kissing back. A soft crack to my right makes me jerk my head from the kiss to look over. Kudzu's standing there, arms folded. Leo caught in surprise, pulling back as well, wiping his muzzle. Oh, Kudzu, what's up? Kun's expression is hard to read as usual, but I see the corner of his muzzle quirk up after a while. Not much.
Not much. Not much. What's up with you?
Oh, you know, stuff. Leo laughs and finally Kudzu smiles. Hey, Kudzu. I speak up, feeling awkward, staying silent after Kudzu calls like that. He nods in my direction.
Chase, so what are you guys really doing out here? Seems kind of a dumpy place to be doing that.
I blush, but turn around to the point of my camera bag sitting inside the opening of the car. I was filming for my project. This place is important to Echo's history.
I see.
We could ask you the same thing.
Well, I'm not exactly doing that, am I? Anyway, I just take walks sometimes on my days off.
In the middle of the day?
Usually.
He narrows his eyes at me, clearly thinking that I'm suspicious about something, so I quickly add, I mean, it just gets so hot here in this time of day, I'd die. Kudzu shrugs his shoulders nonchalantly.
I don't know, I go for walks a lot. That's what I was doing last night when I found you two.
Hey, thanks for stepping in last night. It could have ended badly. Kudzu shrugs again.
It would have. Had to do something, didn't I?
Oh, I appreciate it. Leo wraps his arms around me and hugs. So, how was he when he came to?
Pissed, obviously.
He always is.
But he said some things last night. You should stay away from him for a while.
Kudzu's normally placid face shows some concern for the first time. What, he say he's gonna kill me again? Leo says this lightly, like it's not a big deal.
Among other things.
His eyes flick to me. I give a start. What? Whoa, do you say some shit about Chase? Leo's heckles rise. I can see him starting to bare his teeth.
Again, he was on something last night. He might not even remember it, but I'm just warning you to be careful around him from now on.
Kudzu looks back at Leo.
Don't provoke him.
I wouldn't if he wasn't such a fucking asshat.
Just ignore him.
I swear to God, if he talked about doing shit to Chase, his grip tightens even more around me. Hey, I'll be gone in a few days, don't worry about me, I'm worried about you. I'm just getting really tired of that meth skeleton messing with everything I do. If he fucking tries something with you...
Leo?
The air is tense and I can feel Leo growling deep in his throat. Wanting to change the subject, I speak up. Hey Kudzu, you know we're gonna go out to the park and hang out. Did you wanna come?
Thanks, but I'm good.
Leo perks up from his brooding. You know what? I think that's a good idea. We're gonna play some soccer. But it's only gonna be 3 of us. You could even help out. Kudzu thinks.
Well, I suppose I could use a workout.
You're just like TJ, and you two will get along great. Don't really see TJ and Kudzu getting along just because they're fitness conscious. They're practically night and day. Well, we're heading out right now. Right about now. You gonna come? Kudzu hesitates for a second longer before he nods his head in a quick jerk.
Alright, yeah, why not?
And with that, I gather up my equipment and we head back to Leo's house. It's not surprising that Echo hardly has an inch of flat grass in the entire town. Leo says the plan to lay down sod next to the lake in the area fully developed, but as of now, we have to settle for a park near Peyton. It's a plain stretch of grass usually used for youth soccer games. In fact, I can remember when it was part of that same organisation, when I was part of the same organisation back when my stubby legs didn't matter as much. Of course, after a few years it became clear that being an otter I wasn't built for the sport. That's when I took up swimming, of course, but then I realised I wasn't great at that either. Of course, I could outswim any non-aquatic, but when it came to other otters, I was pretty much bottom of the barrel. As we drive, TJ sighs next to me. I look over him and he's got his elbows against the armrest, staring out the window as we pull into the empty parking lot. Everything alright? TJ's ears perk up and looking over at me, clearly forcing a smile.
Of course.
You don't seem that way. What's up? I lean closer to him. Leo is talking to Kudzu in the front, so we have some amount of privacy. TJ looks down at his lap for a moment, then just shrugs.
I think it's pretty obvious, Chase. The whole trip has been pretty bad.
I'm about to counter that it hasn't been that bad, but he goes on.
I just think it might have been best if I hadn't come. I feel bad is all.
The way he tries not to frown, but does anyway, is both heartbreaking and adorable at the same time. I automatically rest a paw on his shoulder reassuringly. Shit, stuff happens, right? We came here to have fun, and that's what we're doing right now.
Yeah, it's just I feel bad for everyone else. What happened yesterday, I think it affected everyone.
No way. I had a great time with Leo yesterday. It wasn't sad at all. I realise that statement makes me look like a total asshat, but TJ just nods as Leo parks the car.
Have they all just forgotten about Carl then?
I think everyone's just forgotten about Carl.
Yeah, like he was found in the fucking crawl space, guys.
Everyone's just sort of seemed to go on, oh, Carl, and just moved on.
I don't like that.
No.
They're all kind of dicks to each other.
Yep. We're here.
Like
Yeah, but yeah, they're just total dicks to each other. It's like, oh, Carl was found stuffed in a small crawl space. Oh, that's just Carl. He does that. Let's just move on.
To be fair, Flynn cared about Carl. Like it's weird to say, but Flynn might be the most solid out of everyone.
Yep. Worrying, isn't it?
I don't like that.
Worrying, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very worrying. Like he was bang on the money calling all of them out. Like
Yep.
he was fucking correct. Oh man. Agony. Also, his concern about you and Leo is fully fucking justified. The porn wall illustrates that perfectly. It's a fucking porn wall. It's just punched holes and oh my god, Leo.
Yep.
Kind of man you both want to shake very firmly by the shoulders and also run away from.
Yep. I think we've all met those in our life.
Yeah, this man is not safe. Oh dear.
She'll carry on. As we reach the fields, Kuzzle immediately starts jogging the length of it while TJ stretches. I stand there awkwardly for a second, not really sure if I should join them since I felt a little overboard for something so casual. At least I hope it's casual. Leo rests the soccer ball against his hip as he joins me. They're so eager, eh? Apparently. Well, it's not a bad idea, don't want to pull anything. So me and Leo do a few awkward stretches before the other two join us in the middle of the field. So, take to pick teams.
There's only 4 of us, shouldn't be too hard.
You wanna pick? Kuzzle looks between us before his eyes settle on me.
Chase.
Oh, okay.
Probably best to keep the lovers off the same team to avoid distraction. At least, I at least want a little bit of a challenge.
Kudzu gives Leo a little smirk. I blush, but Leo smiles easily, rolling his eyes. It's not like that.
Sure. So, I'm on Leo's team?
TJ sidles up to Leo's side and the wolf puts an arm around his shoulders. Yep, you're lucky to have me. You know, in my country we had a war over soccer once.
I don't believe you.
It's true, thousands died in the football war. Wait, do you call it football? Because that seems pretty confusing since you're really into the other football. I live here now, so football is soccer and football is football. If I was to call soccer football, I'd call it football. It's just, it exists, why? Wait, what? Pooja, let's just start. Kudzu looks around.
Since there are so few of us, why don't we just play half field? Grab a few rocks to mark the goal.
After that, we're done playing. After that's done, we start playing, and for me, it's pretty much a disaster. TJ, of course, dominates all of us. He dodges around me with ease, making it look like an idiot as I spin around trying to catch him, falling on my ass more than once. Kudzu's out to hold his own for the most part, but TJ gets it past him without much difficulty. I think the Lynx realizes how badly he's beaten us after a while and just starts to ease off. He passes to Leo more often and only really steps in when we get near the goal. Leo, while big, is slow as hell and actually managed to steal the ball from a few times. I also think it's because he's not taking this seriously at all, because he keeps laughing and slapping me with his tail when I run past. At one point, the score of like 7-0, I managed to get near the goal. TJ jogs in as I kick the ball clumsily, and it's so clear that he misses on purpose that everyone busts out laughing and as it rolls into the net. TJ frowns.
What? That was a great kick, Chase.
I lean over, resting my hands on my knees and gasp for breath. If you're gonna let me score, you have to make it a little more convincing than that. Man, also, I'm not 5, I can handle getting my ass kicked. After a while, we switch up the teams with TJ on my side and Kudzu and Leo together. It's a bit more even then, with me being TJ's handicap and all. After about half an hour, we call it quits and head back to the parking lot where Leo throws us water bottles. I wipe my face and begin to sit on one of the parking blocks. Even though it's early evening, the weather is still way too damn hot. Leo and TJ are already up again. TJ showing me some of the moves he had so viciously used on me. I'm glad to see TJ is somewhat happy again. His ears are up and he's smiling as he runs circles around Leo. Hey, how am I supposed to learn anything if you keep using them on me? Just try and make me look dumb, eh?
Sorry. Alright, first thing you need to do...
I noticed Kudzu standing a few feet away, watching along with me. So I guess you've known Leo since you moved to Echo? Kudzu looks me over before leaning back against Leo's van.
Yeah, he saw me moving in and insisted on helping. So that's how I met him.
Sounds like Leo. Kudzu takes a swig from his water bottle.
He's a good guy.
Definitely. So you used to live here, right, in Peyton?
Unfortunately, I guess Leo told you.
Yeah. I also remember Leo saying some bad things had happened in the city for the raccoons, so I wonder if I should press or not. Hey, sorry if I seemed like I'm making fun of you a few days ago. Your name a few days ago. It's a cool name, just different, you know? Kudzu smirks.
No, I know it's weird, you just caught me on a bad time is all.
I spread my legs out, sighing as my knees pop. I'm not built for running around.
Well, yeah, you're built for swimming.
I raise my eyebrows at his bluntness. It's not really a specious thing to say, but most people don't often point out a species' aptitude. So I guess I wonder why you'd moved to Echo. It's such a dump. Kudzu's silence for a while. In the meantime, we watch Leo fall on his ass after TJ kicks the ball between his legs.
People.
Huh?
People are the reason why I left Peyton.
Oh. Peyton is technically a small city with just 70,000 people. Compared to Pueblo, that's nothing.
The more people there are, the worse it is. The same anywhere.
Ah, okay. Kudzu goes on.
Sure, in Echo there's 100 shitty people, but in Peyton there's 50,000 of them. I prefer Echo.
His tone is so dark to the point I don't even respond. Something definitely happened here in Peyton, and I don't dare ask what it was. Luckily, I'm saved by an awkward silence as Leo haphazardly kicks the ball in our direction and TJ comes running up to us. Damn it. Alright, I think that's enough for the day. He jogs over, wiping his face. Man, I need a shower. How are you two getting along? Because he doesn't say anything else, I pipe up. Yep. Leo frowns, clearly sensing something's wrong. Well, okay. Well, anyway, let's go out and get some ice cream. I'm really craving it. I stand up slowly, and ears popping again as we all pile into the car. As we drive, TJ continues to stare at the window, but his ears are up and he doesn't seem so depressed anymore. I lean towards him. You feeling better? TJ turns to look at me, smiling.
Yeah, it was fun playing with you guys.
I grin. You're insanely good. He shakes his head.
Not compared to the other guys at school. I'm not aggressive enough, but it's fun.
Well, I'm glad you're feeling better. TJ nods.
It's too bad we can't come back and do it again tomorrow.
Why not? Not that I'm crazy about doing it again, but it's not sure what would prevent it. He looks at me.
Well, your project.
I frown. I don't think. Hey, what flavour do you guys want? Leo practically shouts back at us. I look around, we aren't even at the ice cream parlour yet. That doesn't seem to matter to TJ though.
Ooh, cookie dough. It's been so long since I've had it.
Really? I didn't know you liked that flavour. Somehow Leo's able to keep up the conversation about ice cream flavours all the way to the actual ice cream parlour. I decide the shots I get early in the day were too bright, not representative of the sad state of the town I wanted. The setting sun does a better job of capturing the desolation and the bittersweet depression of it all, a metaphor for an end in a way. At least that's how I hope it came across. I lean back into the old rusted car, clicking through the images I'd taken. It feels very quiet, despite the wildlife around me, and so that's why it's easy for me to pick out the footsteps heading in my direction. I first think it's Leo, and I wonder how he's finished up with a shower so quickly, but then I realise it's the crunch of dried vegetation is too soft, too light to be Leo. I look up, kind of hoping to see Kudso, but instead I'm greeted with a sort of Clint headed in my direction. My grip tightens on the camera, watching as he approaches around the bend of the tracks. He doesn't see me at first, but as he gets to the tracks, he hops onto one of the metal rails and balances there, walking along like he's on a tightrope. Does everyone Echo just come to take a walk? Come here to take a walk? I think about walking around the train car out of his line of sight and hide until he passes me. While I'm thinking this, he loses his balance and stumbles off the rail, and that's when he looks up. Of course, I'm the first thing he sees, and we both sort of stand there watching each other. I don't know what to do. Cad said probably didn't remember anything from the other night, but I'm not willing to bet on it. He does look like he's not even sure who I am, though. His eyes are squinted almost shut, mouth almost screwed up as he scratches his head comically. He leans forward, almost to the point of falling over again. Definitely on something. At that moment of recognition spreads across his face, his mouth opens wide, and he starts jogging straight for me. The abruptness of the movement startled me and I almost dropped the camera. I angle myself away from the car so I'm not backed up against it and start taking snaps as he gets closer. He stops though, about 10 feet away, and points at me.
Hey, I know you.
Huh? I'm at a loss for what to say. He's wobbling back and forth, his eyes wide open.
Your name.
There's an awkward pause as I try to determine whether or not he's asking me a question. My name? Chase? Why did I tell him that?
You're Leo's fag friend.
Nah.
I'm distracted again because that's when I see the handle of the pistol just poking out from the front of the waistband of his jeans. Clint glares.
Fucking Leo, why'd you hang out with that creep?
I'm looking around trying to decide the best way of escape in case he loses it.
I mean, he's always saying shit to me. Always saying shit about my dad. He had the perfect fucking life and rubs it in my goddamn face.
I take a few innocuous steps back so the end of the car is right next to me. Guess I have to duck behind it. I don't think Leo's life was that easy. It was pretty bad back in his country.
Fucking Bina coming here to make my fucking life even worse. Couldn't get home and be happy. Couldn't go outside and be happy. Can't be happy anywhere.
He sneers at me.
And you fucking, don't you?
I just stare at him and don't say anything. I feel like anything I say could set him off, but he waits patiently expecting an answer. Clint.
Don't you?
He shudders visibly, clenching his eyes shut.
Fucking imagining you licking his fat ass is disgusting. I don't even fucking care that you're fagging around, but with him?
If I wasn't so afraid of the whole situation, I probably would have just laughed right then. I take another step back. Hey, I was actually just about to head out. You know, I'm doing this project, that's why I'm here. He glares at me. Me and Leo broke up a few years ago, we're just friends.
You don't know what he's like. The things he did to me. It was way worse than what I ever did to you.
But hey, I do need to head out. We can talk about this later. He sees me stepping around the car and immediately his hand shoots for the handle of the gun.
Hey!
I freeze, watching his hand preparing to throw myself to the ground if he pulled it out. At the same time praying that he'll shoot his dick off if he does. He glares at me.
What the hell are you even doing out here anyway?
Shaking hands, I point to the camera around my neck. I told you, I'm doing a project. I try to smile as I hold it up.
Just about Echo? What the fuck is there to say about it?
His hands loosen on the pistol and I manage to steady my voice enough to actually speak. Well, there's history to it, you know. There's history to everything. I'm just trying to figure it out. Clint looks around, seeming to forget about his gun.
Oh, like the railroad?
Yeah, like this railroad. Clint's eyes are vacant as he stares at the ground. I think I'm making a run for it again.
Oh.
I jump as he snaps his head up.
My dad once told me about, his dad knew a guy that got killed here back in like the 50s.
Oh? Despite the fact that there's a crazy meth head in front of me with a gun, I still find myself becoming intrigued. Interested.
Yeah, like some guy was trying to hop on one. Like way back then, that's how people would get around. So this guy was trying to hop on this train here, when it was leaving the station, but he missed jumping on.
Clint sits down in the dry and dusty weeds and spreads his legs over the rails.
Then he falls down like this, and it runs over his legs.
Clint brings both his hands down in chopping motion over his thighs.
Blood goes everywhere, and yeah, he's dead, right?
He looks up at me and I realise he's actually waiting for an answer. I guess his questions are never rhetorical. I'd assume so, right?
Wrong. They found him a few hours later, and somehow the fucker's still alive.
Oh. I'm already starting to doubt this story, at least this version of it.
The stumps are packed with dirt, so he stopped bleeding, but he's gone crazy by now. He's going on about some creature that came to him and spoke whispers in his ear.
Well, at the very least, I can stick this story somewhere slow in the project to keep things somewhat interesting. One of those local urban legend type stuff.
But then he goes to the hospital and they think he's gonna live, but he jumps out the fucking window and kills himself.
Clint stands up and brushes himself off.
My dad used to tell me that story a lot. Not like I wanted to hear it, but he liked telling me things I didn't want to hear.
I don't quite know what to say to that, but I want to keep on his good side, so I make a show of pulling a notebook out of my bag. Well, thanks, Clint. That actually helps me out a lot. Clint is still off in his own world, staring off at some trees in the distance.
It's weird that you needed to hear that story because I come here because of it.
For closure or something?
Because of that guy. Sometimes I think I see him when I'm all high. I hear things here too. It's scary, but I do it anyway, because it's different. In this town, everything's always the same, but you can make it change if you want.
At that point, he starts walking off again off the tracks and towards the group of trees. I decidedly don't follow, instead hurriedly making my way back to Leo's house. I have a lot of time to calm down on the walk back. Leo is splayed out on the couch, picking through a TV dinner on his lap. There you are. I warmed one up for you, but it's probably cold by now. That's alright, I'll probably just put it back in. Leo watches me as I head for the kitchen adjacent to the living room. Hey, what's up? My dinner is sitting on the stove top, making an effort not to wrinkle my nose at the sculpted rib meat covered in barbecue sauce. The watery mashed potatoes complement the gooey mess. Nothing, just tired is all. I toss my dinner back in the microwave and set the timer to 2 minutes. As it's warming, I turn back round to lean against the counter and face Leo in the living room. Hey, I was wondering something. Leo looks back up at me, ears falling back a little. It's about Clint. Leo's brow furrows. I mean, you guys are at each other's throats. I know there's always been some animosity between you two, but I don't remember it being this bad. I frown. You guys practically want each other dead. Leo bends his ears back and he licks barbecue sauce off his fingers. I really don't know, Chase. If I had to say, I think it would be the drugs. The drugs? Whatever he's taking is pretty hardcore. I mean, he's a goddamn skeleton now, right? Yeah. But it's not like I'm responsible for it. I just treat him like he treats everyone else. I open my mouth, hesitate, but finally ask what's been bothering me. When we were younger, what would you say? Would you say that you bullied him? Leo frowns. What's bringing all this up? Nothing, I'm just curious is all. Leo starts to smooth the fur on his head, all puffed out in the shower. Puffed out from the shower. I mean, I wasn't nice to him, of course, but he was an asshole to everyone else. Like I said, I did to him what he did to others. He coughs. Maybe a little worse. Worse? What did he do to us that was pretty bad, though? He tried to burn me with a cigarette once. See, when you tell me shit like that, I don't feel bad for any of the things I did to his worthless ass. I'm saving to respond to that with the timer as the timer goes off. I turn around and pull my food out of the microwave before grabbing a plastic fork and sitting down next to Leo. We eat in slightly awkward silence. By the time I'm almost finished, I feel a little nauseous. Not to be rude, but do you always eat this stuff? Huh? He looks up with a mouthful of mashed potato. This microwavable dinner stuff? He swallows loudly. Yeah? Do you not like it? He lowers his ears again, looking embarrassed. It's fine, it's just sad. I look at him sheepishly. Ah, you little fucker, I get better food sometimes, this is just easier. Yeah? I drag a plastic fork through the flaky potatoes. And what qualifies as better food? The diner? Hey, it's not like I can't afford it. I make good money. I laugh. This isn't about money, I just think you're lazy. Leo mock growls and leans over to grab me. I yelp theatrically and try to hold my tray steady as he yanks me sideways to lay down against him, our heads on the armrest. Hey, I gotta throw away my tray, it's full of gross TV dinner war. Leo nuzzles into my neck. Put it on the floor. You gross. You can throw it away when I'm ready to get up. Since when do you decide when I can or can't get up? Since you decided to mouth off to me, now you're the one that's going to be cooking all my meals and cleaning up my house, Chase. Or Chula.
Chula.
Yeah, sorry, there was a cat in the way and I couldn't see. It's still in the way.
I mean, you just sat down on my chest, avoiding me from reading my book.
I shiver and I shiver and he responds by spinning me tighter. Clearly Leo's... I think that's meant to be gauged rather than gagged, but... clearly Leo's gauged that I'm past the point of resisting at this... I'm past the point of resisting at this point in my little vacation, and he's taking advantage of it. Something in Spanish.
Este loco poti.
He rolls the R dramatically. Definitely taking advantage of it. We're both too tired to do anything more, which is probably the best, and within minutes I've passed out. Friday.